our topics, but we have 2 hours. We can go over half an hour too if discussion is good. So yeah.
Do me a favor and put that in Discord, okay? I can't.
Okay,
I don't want to
I'll
open
put
up anything else on my computer and crash it and cut and paste.
Okay,
it.
then I'll put it in Discord.
Yeah,
no
put it in Discord
yeah.
right to me. That would be great. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Thank you.
Just have to. They changed the icon of.
Yeah, you hear us? That's good. That's good to hear that you hear us. You hear us. Oh, I gotta shut my door. All right. Awesome. John's not on tonight because John's away, so.
Yeah, I saw that. He had a show yesterday, I think. But
yeah, it wasn't him though.
That's right.
Kayla was DMing on his channel.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but he's not off for 2 weeks. I think he's road tripping it to the Grand Canyon. I think.
Oh, that sounds awesome. This is the time of year to do it before it gets super hot too.
Troller Games giveaway tonight, which is cool. Always a good thing. Thank you. All right. Hit that button. So, busy weekend.
Yeah.
Got a cool game going. Saturday night. And,
Yeah,
oh my
looking
God, I haven't heard
forward
that
to
Beavis and Butthead comment at AZ11 in a long time. Holy jeez. Oh my
Oh, I
gosh.
need to log into chat here.
What's up, Dwayne? Tomorrow night is Infinite Dimensions. And then I'm going to do some Titan Dice on Saturday. I'm doing good, Dwayne. I'm doing good. Just keeping busy. And then Gavin will be Monday night, not Sunday night. So, having a cookout with people over Sunday. So, along with all the other stuff going on. And so the day we have the Fins, June 12th.
Yeah.
That night we have a cannon fodder game too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got two things in there.
Yep.
I know it's weird why it warps. I have no idea why that happens. I don't know if it's them. I can't figure it out. I just don't get it.
But we have to go old school maybe than sound here on your channel. So yeah.
Yeah, it's probably them. Just don't know. So, but we got some good stuff coming. Bill's putting together that monster ruin, castle ruins now. about making Strandkeep Castle from the Gore books. Thinking about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
right
that
there.
far from Altamira and stuff. So
It's not far from the entire.
So you
border to
definitely
Pomarsh.
need to read that book about it and then do it.
I'm trying to get a hold of the book, so I'm doing a little, at a reasonable cost. But yeah, we'll find it.
Yeah, that's something I plan to read. Maybe start this fall again to read the book.
Excellent. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We get rocking and rolling here. Like I said, it's Infinite Dimensions being the big giveaway tomorrow night. And, class race combination to make a character in old school. Okay. Half elf fighter cleric mage, like Lord Kazumba. There you go. Which book, Jason? The one with Strandkeep Castle in it. Is that the first or second? But if it's the second,
I think it's the second.
I'm gonna have to read the first one too, then, Jason.
Oh yeah, you should read the first one and then the second. But
Good
it's
to
the
see you on,
second
Jason.
book. Yeah, it's the second book.
What's up, Jim? What's up, Sparky? Yep. I love the old multi-class characters, as you all know.
That would be interesting to see how multi-class works and goes out in practice in 5e.
What works in 5e?
Multi-classing, how it works in
Oh,
5e.
yeah.
We don't have any multi-classing characters in the party in my campaign currently, so it will be interesting to see how that works.
It's rather regular.
Jason, you have multiple copies. You want to come to an arrangement, but the first two, I want to go at least through the first two books because I have a monster ruins that I'm thinking of. It's like 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. It's from Gamescape. Bill's working on putting it together. Mike Saxton printed it for us. It's huge. And I was thinking about making that the ruins of Strandkeep Castle. So yeah. So I thought that would be cool. Dun 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 dun. Coming on live shortly. What's up, Troy? Oh, look, you're getting a collection there, Troy, too. Catching up to Patrick. Although I don't know if that's possible in that realm. Oh my God, yeah. Why don't we talk about that, Jason, off afterwards, man? I don't want to. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. I've never read them. I really should read them.
Yeah, you should read them. Yes, definitely.
I should read them.
That's compulsory reading. That's reading canon for any Greyhawk fan.
Already hype trained.
Ooh, we haven't even started yet.
Haven't even started yet. That's awesome. Jason, that would be really kind of you. I could always return the favor with something, man. Yeah, let's talk. Yeah.
We don't even have a guest on that we can reflect a little bit pressure on. Just us.
Yeah, I saw Kayla got a level 5, went all the way through level 5 today. That was awesome on your channel. That was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi, Kayla.
Kayla's playing this big Saturday. They're all scared. I wonder why. Well, I'm trying to scare them. So.
There you go. That's why.
Well, and I put the word out there because Dave, DM221532, and even Troy have implied that they're going to throw a lot of anti-hero points to me.
Oh, jeez.
So that's funny. Tom Baker's wife.
Tom Baker's.
Yeah, Romana too. That was Tom Baker's wife. So, what are your top World of Greyhawk resources? I know it should have been more. What's the word? I should have been a little more specific on this.
No, I like it the way it is.
Okay.
It's an open topic. I like the open topics.
I did put resources and publications in the title bar down on Twitch.
Yeah, but it's good because there's many ways to look at this. Yeah.
There are many unpleasant ways to die. I'm sorry, that's something No, you can't start the bits now for Saturday. They have to. Antis have to be during the stream specifically, right? No. Anything tonight, I'll accumulate for heroes for tomorrow nights. Oh, look at that! There we go, over the top. I'll wait another minute here. Thank you. Oh gosh, boom!
Level 1. What is the highest level?
There is no level. I saw. I saw.
Been to level 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
5, 7.
What's up, North Shore? Hey, what's going on? I saw a channel that had someone who had cheered almost 2 million bits.
What?
I swear to God, Mike, that's $20,000. I mean, no lie. I was like, I was like, whoop. All
Is
right,
that level 20 in one go?
It's crazy.
Yeah, you
It's
go
so-
epic. You gone
It's so
epic.
crazy.
Yep.
So good evening, everyone. I'm Jake Lurgazumba. Along with me is Greyhawk, Mike Bridges, and the wonderful Anna Meyer.
Hello.
So hopefully everyone's great tonight. Please note that the Philadelphia market area is got thunderstorms rolling through. So if you see me zap off, that's what's going on right now. But we should be okay. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Good to see you on, Mecca. Everyone on. Thank you for getting a hype train going again. Let me get a little caught up here for some of the ones that didn't show before we were on. So I said this during the early chat, and Anna said she liked it, but I have here, and back here, I have like an ungodly amount of Greyhawk resources and publications to discuss tonight, and some of my favorites, and hopefully some of your favorites. And Kayla, that was really kind of you. And we'll get through those and talk about them, and but I don't know. So we had our 100th show right last week, and then it went. We all went. The three of us all went like kind of brain dead. We're like, what are we gonna do next week?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of we kind of took a couple of days off.
Yeah, we took and so and we still we don't have a topic for next week, but we have the next two after that.
Mm-hmm.
So we need it. We'll be working on top. I have an idea just to come off of this, and I want to see if certain individuals could come, and maybe we could work something out from that. But so your favorite resources tonight now could be. I got some scrolling through. By no means this is a complete list. We can go off the table and talk about some stuff that's a little out there too, but we got enough people on for me to do this. So if for me, it's a three. I have three that I go to all the time, and those three are the following:
the big three.
The big three of all time. There's nothing better in the world than the Star Cairns, the Crypt of Lysandra the Mad, and then the Doom Grinder. I'm just kidding.
I was just going to say, yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
I was like, what is this? And then the second one, and then it's like, no. The third one is like, no. You're kidding me. Yeah, it was like the first one. I was like, I'm kind of a little bit flat back. I wasn't sure. And the second one, I'm sure. And the third one is like, come on. That was funny.
Yes.
Was really
funny. No, these are not on the list. Okay.
No, they are kind
there
of,
you go.
Yeah.
And the only one I ever got through, as you can see, I have notes on it, was the Star Cairns, and I just sorry, Sean.
Campaign if you're doing Darrow, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Sean Reynolds, but I can't. I just can't do it. So, Jason, yes, I was joking all along, and I probably will have a couple of those other jokes tonight like that. And wow, thank you all for almost a level 3. Yes, you got to do that kind of stuff. So I got some of them scrolling through. If you go back though, there's some that everyone will say. That's it, and so I have my top 3, and well, Mike, give us just off the top of the head your top 3, and we'll just boom, 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 and then we'll talk about some other ones. Yeah, what are your top 3?
Okay. My top 3, just rattle off in a row. I use the Evil City Greyhawk box set, World of Greyhawk box set.
Okay.
No shockers there.
So, look at this. Wow. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Puppet.
Of course, I have my Eyes the Evil is falling apart, but you know, along with the Slavers, along with a lot of this stuff, and but two of them, right? Royal Greyhawk box set. I'm gonna be. Oh, this is a sealed shrink copy of Free City Greyhawk box set. So, yeah, not opening. And Eyes the Evil's in pieces here somewhere. That and the Marklands are in pieces in mine. So yeah, they're fantastic ones. Anna, how about you? You got your top three?
Well, yeah, Living Greyhawk Gazetteer and Marklands, I use the Evil and even the Undying. Those are my top four.
Okay.
I can't even. Those four are my go-to. I can't separate them.
So
really
you like
in that way.
Living Greyhawk
Yes.
Gazetteer.
Well, yeah, I do. Yeah, since I run my own
What's in the
campaign
box?
after that, so for me that is a huge asset, and I love it. And yeah, so it's because it has a lot of additional information about things like knighthoods and knight orders. It has ethnicities and it has a lot of the backstory and extra of it, and I just love to dive into it. And then I will Scarlet Brotherhood. I must admit that it's that type of source book, and I'm so weak for it because that's the kind of fuel I want for my own. So those type of resources are so high for me.
So we actually have someone new to the stream, Storyweaver. Hey, welcome and thank you for the follow.
Yeah,
and like I said, we've been this is our 101st Legends and Lore. I have 147 Gabbins, 913 at the end of this week adventures, comprising about 2,900 sessions over 41 years. We got a lot going on, man. So hang out and have some fun here. So for me, oh, by the way, I haven't done it yet, Zaya. Let me do that now first. Let me do the drawing. Since we had a mega hype train and the hype train's still going, we're doubling this. 2 Troller Game $25 gift certificates. All right? Does that sound good for everyone? To get whatever you want from our great sponsor, Troller Games. So let me set this up. Alrighty. And everyone's eligible, of course. All I gotta do is not hit the wrong button, and the giveaway should have started. So, all right, let me make sure that thing pops up. All right, good, we're good to go. There you go. Okay, so yeah, so courtesy of these are actually courtesy of Troy Cannibal. And Troy, we found a couple that we were never issued, so I went back to some of the older ones. So we still got we got to go out on them now. But thank you. Wow, very, very kind of everyone. Keep on cranking this out here. So my 3, I've always talked about, is City of Greyhawk box set. I know everyone goes about the map in here. I don't care. I don't care about this.
No,
is
but
so.
apart from the layout
we'll
of the city, I must agree that all of it that is in there in when it comes to the text part and a lot of the illustrations are fantastic. I want to see if I make my own version of the city for my own campaign. I want to have everything in there in the city, so to speak. Yeah.
34 months, Naz. Naz is Nazarite's
awesome.
Our longest subscriber outside of my close circle group of friends. All right, so thanks, Tim.
Yep.
So my 3, that Eyes the Evil and the Marklands 1 and 2 back and forth. I consider them linked, right? And then Arthur the Clerk, who was on and said, "Oh, if you can't have a show without," I agree, and that Slavers is my 3rd one, right? I just
that's interesting because it's like we talked about on one of the earlier shows that it's like half a source book and half an adventure.
It is.
It's a hybrid between.
It is really, really cool. And, we had Chris Pramus just on a little while ago talking about the whole second half of the book is his. So, all the Marquesa and all the write-ups of the Slavers and the write-up on the Earth Dragon and Kettle and Lakos, that's all his. And then all the first part detailing the coast and Harby and Divers, that's all Sean Reynolds. So, what a great, and there it is on the list there. So, why don't we... And I know I saw a couple people had some in there. What was number 2 for me? So number 2 for me is the Marklands, and they're so beat up. They don't have cover. Here they are. The Marklands and Eyes the Evil are mine together linked.
Okay.
Probably I'd throw Ivid the Undying in as a third linked together. See, look, the covers are worn off. I've used them so much, but I don't use the Great Kingdom. So these are Sergeant era. They're fantastic. You can develop wonderful campaigns from these, and we'll talk about that a little bit in detail. Because we want to go into detail on why we love these. You know, we just don't want to say, "Hey, we like these," and so be it. But we want to talk about it.
Here are the.
Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. They're beefy, and they come with cool maps too.
Oh man,
stuff, so.
Yeah. Who did those maps, by the
way? I'm not sure who did them. They are done in kind of pseudo digital version of Darlene style, so to speak. So they tie into it, and they're, I would say, one step more detailed than the
Another sealed one, Wars.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yes.
So they come with these maps. So I'm not sure who did them, and they're not artistically superb, so to speak, because they're kind of a computerized version of Darlene style. But
yeah,
they
are seem
informative, and they give one layer of extra detail, so to speak, than compared to the Darlene map.
No, we are no.
Yep.
Yes. Who's my dealer? I've had. So you got to remember. So you find back in the day, I was like, oh my god, it's sealed. I would buy it. Hey, that was $35, and I got it sealed. Right. I've had it sealed for 20, 25 years or whatever. So yeah, got lucky. Wow. Thank you so very much for such a great hype train, and we're cranking it up here. So if we go back to the beginning, let's talk about Mike's first one. Let's start at the beginning. Pre-box set, we got the folio, right? So this is where it starts. 1980. What's that?
I was going to say, as to resources, or my top resources, I would admit I've never used the folio.
Wow.
I own the folio, but I've never used it in game.
Yeah, I don't own the folio. I have it I bought it as a PDF on Drive-Thru RPG, but I never had the real. Yeah.
What did Jason say? It's where to go. Jason Zavoda.
Well, he says all you need is the folio and the Gordon books.
That's all Jason needs. Absolutely, yeah. And Jason would be the Gord books all the way with that. But this is where I started, and so I want to tell a little story again of my luck. I got this for $5. This one, my original one is beat to hell, but I got this one for $5. So sometimes you're in the right place, right time. You know, at one of those gaming stores where someone brought in a whole
mine's a little ragged.
Yeah, that's how.
Oh, wow.
You can see you have a different edition. You have an older edition than this one. This one's blue. See, you can tell by the writing on it. But this has everything you need. Yeah. See, you got black. One of them's an older edition.
Okay.
But everything you need in there, with one exception, and that was. All the leaders in there, they don't really tell you what race they are or their names.
And also, there are no deities in there
what
either.
The heck?
Yeah, the religious bit is not there either. So
yeah,
it's a folio probably that was supposed to coincide with his army list.
Yeah. But it's really cool to go to Drive-Thru RPG and get them as PDFs, so you can follow because it's like $5 or something, or maybe $9 on Drive-Thru. So they're really cool. You can get all the old ones. And one of the other beauties of go on.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, Jason said that the print-on-demand version is excellent.
Good.
Okay, cool. Then I'll think about that too.
So it's thank you everyone for such kindness there. Lots of special hero. It looks like the entire group's going to get a special hero point to start out on tomorrow night's adventure with Theo's Heroes, led by a jester. How poetic. Ooh. So, Mike, this is your number one, right? Or number two?
Greyhawk box set.
Yeah.
I actually said it third.
Third, okay. But if you come in here, they've expanded the glossography that was in the 80 to this, and then they've added a lot of other stuff. So you got 2 books in here.
Yeah, well, I would say that if you want to dive into to run your start in Greyhawk as a to use that as your campaign setting. I think that setting book should be the first thing you read, just for nostalgia, because it was the first one that really, and it's also a beautiful put together. The production values are fantastic, and it doesn't give you all the details, and there's a lot of hinted at. So if you read that one first, you get like it's a good primer for what things to come, and then you can dig into the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. You can take Markland, I Use the Evil, and dive deeper into the setting after that. But I think that the 83 box set is a good way to start, so to speak, because it has all the essential information is there, and it also asks a lot of the essential questions and stuff. It hints to a lot of things that are then talked about in later books and detailed in adventures and modules and stuff.
And I want to say this: I don't care what edition you're playing. This is editionless, this discussion.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Because
you can run anything from.
This doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can run anything from first edition D&D to second edition
Fifth,
Pathfinder or Savage World or whatever you want.
Yep. Doesn't matter. If you're doing the setting, if you're looking for that 570 to 76 era, or even before that to run, then you want to go with this, right? Or a copy of that, or the glossography.
Oh yeah, and it's also available on Drive-Thru-RPG as PDFs too, and you can get a new print.
Absolutely,
get it printed too.
So that's a good start point. Some of the things it has in there has the weather charts, has about knighthoods. Mike, what are some of the tidbits?
And the deities come in there too, and even has these kind of little cool things about different noble titles, how they are in rank, from kings to princes and all the way down to viscounts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes, I'm a Legends of the Seeker there. I like my D&D women, as you can tell. That's not if you ask that question. So yeah, because the original glossography doesn't have deities in it. The original one had nothing, no mention of deities or anything like that. So you have that's your first time that you get that. Now, if you want to go on something that is a close for me, a close to that glossography set in a different sort of way because of the detail, then we go to Jim Ward's book, right? Then we want to go to Greyhawk Adventures, which jumps up, and this is printed in 1988. So this is only 5 years afterwards. This is still in the 1E era. And with having Jim Ward on the show, you got to have it hanging in front of you. That you got to have that, man. Yes. That's it. The Darlene map is where it starts. And we know from Jim Ward they put this thing together in 3 months from scratch. How insane is that? To do this in 3 months. Now I have. I know what I forgot. I have a mini of this book, and I forgot to bring it upstairs. I have one of those minis.
Okay, yeah. But it's one of these anthologies where you have a lot of little tidbits put together into one big volume, so to speak. It's you have a few. There's like a chapter on magic items. There's a chapter of locations, and there's a chapter of spells, etc., etc. So it's like it's more like a conglomerate of little things that would be small PDFs today, so to speak, put together in one hardbound. So
we did an entire Legends and Lore on this book.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called The Wonders of Greyhawk Adventures. I think it's back. I think in the 70s or 60s, but or even earlier maybe. But we did one on that. So there's an entire discussion that. But
Jason Savoda doesn't like it.
Well, Jason, we always appreciate your opinion on that, Jason. And I want to ask one question, and that is, why was it too detailed for you? Because I know you like to make Greyhawk your own, but I'd like to know your reason for it. I love yes, Kyle. I love everything that is in here, with few exceptions. I mean, they put in here some great, the Drow ones are in here, the Sword Race are in here, two of my favorite D&D undead monsters. The stories about like the Veil of the Mage, I could do without that. This is the one point I can do it.
Well, so far I haven't seen anything that I like about Veil of the Mage more than it's there. I like the idea of having a hidden valley in the
Right.
barrier peaks. I really like that, but then so far I don't like anything I've seen about what what people put in it, so to speak. So, but I have to read the Gore books again
Hey,
because I
Orcus,
want
good to
to
see you,
study
man.
that the Demiurge and the Cat Lord and all that stuff once again. And
Yeah. So note that we made an entire class out of these spell lists in here. We have the Greyhawk Mage that Ed Greenwood
Yeah.
himself is playing now. So
yeah,
you know, based off those spells, because there were so many of them, the magic items are all unique. It's pretty cool, and I can understand why you know, Jason wouldn't be a fan of it, but that's okay. I was impressed by it, especially for 3 months. That doesn't mean that, you know, my world is gospel, Jason. Especially since I want to get all those Gord books from you. So I'm just kidding. All right, so Ivy the Undying's up, Aaron. I want you to talk about that because that
well,
one's the only one that's not available in
exactly.
print.
It was one of these things that were released out into the internet in a form of, I think it was mid 90s, so 94 or something like that, 95 or something, mid 90s. They released it. That was the time when TSR was about to fold, I think. They released it out into the internet as a Word document or something similar, rich text format or something. And then, and then there's been various awesome people that put together it a form of PDF. So you can probably find it on Scribd and various other websites. Just Google for it because it's out there in many different forms. And they also had some images that were, I think, but I'm not sure about this, but my guess is that they were intended to be the cover for it. And there were some maps that were released later in Dragon magazine to compilate that was supposed to be printed with it. And some people have done PDF compilations that make them look like an official TSR product, and they can be great, so to speak. So you can find them, Google it, and you'll find that they're available in several places, and there are several different versions of them. So go around until you find one you like, and there you can have it galore, so to speak. So it's a fantastic product. I love it. It's so sad that they never published it, but I'm so happy that they at least released the information. From my perspective, that's the key. If I get it in beautiful print or not, that's a plus and a huge bonus. But the essential is to get the information in the first place.
Do you know what we need to ask someone that we haven't on Ivy the Undying? And by the way, I think the one I have scrolling through, Derek Extort, is the one that's considered the official, but that's from a Birthright box set, I believe, that cover.
Yeah, but I think that someone said that that's where it ended up, and it was supposed to be, and in a way, I love that cover, so to speak, with the heraldry on it, and from a battlefield, and they're looking rugged and stuff. So it's
a good one.
It's amazing.
Yeah, there's our anti-DM. What's up, Dave?
And also even the Undying is kind of unique because it's the only source book that details the Great Kingdom and the core areas of the setting, not the core areas of the culturally, politically, and so on of the setting.
Yeah.
So the other areas are kind of, a lot of modules and stuff are set in the central Flannies around Greyhawk City and Valuna and so on and so forth. But that eastern part, the Great Kingdom itself, is not that detailed. And this is what the Marklands did for Furyundi, and the Ayus the Evil did for his lands, and Vesvi and so on. Then you have that for the Great Kingdom, and it's also in that situation when it's falling apart, and that's also very, very interesting.
Yeah, falling apart is an understatement on these because you know the Carl Sargent did some unbelievable, you know, and a lot of people aren't a fan of his work, and the purists from the Gygaxian
No, but
era.
I like it. I really do. In the beginning, I didn't like it at all. I was like, oh, he killed off Horn Society and he screwed up everything everywhere. But now I kind of like it because it forces me as a DM to deal with it. And it forces me to try and do lemonade out of lemons, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I kind of appreciate it. Even the fact that he killed off the Horn Society, now I actually started to enjoy it. It took 20 years for me to accept it, and 10 years to accept it, and another 10 years to start liking it. Now I really like it. So I appreciate Carl Sargent the longer the time goes and I get to live with it, the more I like it.
Mike, any commentary on those three Sargent publications, Mark Land's Eye is the Evil or Ivid?
Oh, well, I Use the Evil I've gotten the most mileage out of.
It's your number one, you said, right?
Yeah. It's, if it's going to be your primary villain for the meta theme, then that's the book that you end up turning to the most. I always felt like Markland's was like I Use the Evil Part 2, though. Not what I would call a favorite, but the information is necessary for me to use what's in I Use the Evil better. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
cool.
Ivid the Undying is solid writing. So a huge dump of information. That could have been two books, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Again, though, not one of my favorites to use. I think I'm biased to actually published books. The only parts of Ivid the Undying I used in play were the excerpts that were published in Dragon Magazine.
Okay. So
anything else I've ever used or referenced has just been for
my
purposes.
My question is, who had the go ahead to say we should still get this material released? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that will be cool. We see if we can get that deciphered. We have to ask around more for that part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we should have asked Zeb that. Was Zeb there then?
No, I don't think so. He left earlier, if I remember correctly.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because Alan Hammock was
maybe
calling
we can ask Wolfgang Bauer or someone who. No, he left before that.
We got to figure that out. Who
but it was those who were there while they moved from Lake Geneva to Seattle, so to speak, because it was that early. It was one of the last gasps on TSR, if I remember, have my dates correct. I might be wrong on that. That's another little gem. That one, yes, it's a
Valorius said book. That. So before we go to that, so Ivid the Undying, if you are a specialty priest person like I am, the IU specialty priest is here in the book, along with a lot of unique items. The entire Boneheart and Lesser Boneheart are in there. Great NPCs. The freaking free Reavers like Sharon Veller, Valinar, one of my favorite characters of all time, cutting the Sharon smiles, they're in the Horn Society. All sorts of great stories in that book. And in the Marklands, if you want to do a Furyandi campaign, a Nyran campaign, a Vesvi Forest campaign, this is where you want to go. Is the Marklands, especially for the Vesvi. I mean, because it has the details of the maps of borders and everything right in the book. It's fantastic. It also has a map of Willip in it, which is surprising. Shendel. I mean, the Shendel map's kind of shitty, right? It's just like it looks like someone did some scratching.
Yeah,
in
the
there.
city maps are.
Yeah, but Shendel is interesting because Shendel it's kind of a designed city. It's not something that grew organically over millennia, and that's why it's square. And so it has an interesting story. So Shendel is one of the cities that I kind of like that way. It's one of these kind of designed to be a beautiful capital, and probably because, and now we're getting in maybe off topic a bit, but and this is not something just from memories, I might be wrong, but when the Kingdom of Pharaon, when they broke off the Great Kingdom, Divers was the capital of Pharaon, of the western part of Great Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then Divers became its own independent city, and Furyundi became its own kingdom. So that's when they designed and constructed Shendel to be their new shiny capital, so to speak. So it was constructed from, I don't know what was there before, but so in that way it's different from a lot of other big metropolises. Yeah.
So, all right. This book here, it's kind of Greyhawk 2.5, right? That's what it's usually been called. It's it's 3E before, and that's probably why it's almost it's hardly no crunch, if I remember correctly. It's only stories because they had third edition was coming out, everybody knew it, so people wouldn't. So that's probably why they published stuff that was crunch free and it was only fluff. it was like, let's get an update to the updates of the front. We haven't gotten to From the Ashes yet. So, but that's what they appeared to do in this is they wanted to slightly undo a lot of the Sergeant stuff in this
Yeah,
book.
they kind of
Some of it.
advance it a little bit and
Yeah.
move forward. Yeah.
But it's a good book if you were in that era of,
Mhm.
oh, the wars happened and I want to go beyond that.
And I also love the layout and the production values. That's my favorite of Greyhawk. The old box set with Darlene calligraphy and
Yeah.
stuff, and then this area and those maps and stuff are
This
all
is
top
in it.
notch. Yeah, I love that.
And they just dot up the
yeah.
city
So
Greyhawk
that is
map
one of the
locations
best
here.
produced Greyhawk things ever. Yeah, and those
So.
covers are fantastic.
Moore era. Yeah, we are trying. Roger Moore's one that has escaped us so far.
Yes, yeah,
You
we're
know?
trying, but we'll see. Yep.
So, still bitter about the Catalina wine mixer. Come on, man. You know I love Step Brothers. So, I want to go a little off the beaten path here. Let's link everything together and let's get this one. This one you get a lot of mixed reviews on. Now, this box set is, I think, the link between the Living Greyhawk era and the Gygax area, of course, right? But it is, this is my good copy. My bad copy is I had to tape the box together.
But to me, it doesn't give much news, so to speak. When it comes to the setting, it details the Greyhawk area better and have some additional. But when it comes to the setting, the 83 box set and that one is basically identical. It doesn't give you much extras. And it's also an interesting story. They're misprinted. The silver decor in the prints are supposed to be gold, like it was in some of the other ones, and the printer turned it up, made them silver.
Yeah, which I kind of like, actually.
Okay, well, yeah, but but
kind of hard
it was
to read sometimes.
Yeah, because I remember when I was part owner of a game store, when we got a box of those back in the day, they came with a disclaimer on top saying it was a screw up from the printer, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So yeah, and we had to. There was when you ordered them, you also had to a special waiver or something like that. So they were misprinted. So yeah,
I'm going to tell you why I like this. What was that, Mike?
I was going to say I would have known any differently. Why did they put a disclaimer on it?
Well, they were supposed to be golden and look beautiful, and then it was silver and hard to read and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was something.
Yes. Yeah. So Roger Moore's not dead. Roger Moore just left the industry, and we're going to keep on trying there. I mean, we've gotten a lot of those. I mean, that we didn't expect to get, and so now we're trying, and we're gonna have some more guests coming up shortly. I'll tell you what I like about From the Ashes. I love the detail of the stories in here, going all around the plain of Greyhawk and the Wild Coast, and Narwhal's in here, and Safeton's in here. I mean, and that's just gold. It is. And then the stories on what's going on in Narwhal, and Castle Mistrine's in here. Anna, one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lord Mistrine's in here. Pelgarn's in here, but also the detail of and back to Greyhawk City, the detail of the mercenary groups and characters. Nulf's in here. Now there's one I really don't give a shit about. Sorry for saying that, but Philadelphia Blues, and I don't care about Philadelphia Blue, right? All right, so there you
that
go.
was one of these weird things. I never,
you never got that.
Where did he come from, so to speak?
But if you look at there's a ton of mercenary groups in here, and that this is the book that gave me the idea to start. Hey, we should have our own mercenary groups in all the cities we venture in and have them ranked, just kind of like what it is in here. And that's where, we have mercenary guild rankings in Greyhawk, Hardby, and Altamira, all three. So, and that was from here. So, I understand that, Jason, but you gotta, like Bladestorm's in here, one of my favorite characters of all time. There's a lot of great character write-ups in this book. So, I'm not a fan of what happened From the Ashes in its entirety. I think they went a little too far, but as far as the box set goes, I think it's an invaluable resource, especially if you're doing around Greyhawk City area on either side. That
Mhm.
area, that hub, around the
Oh,
Woolly
yeah,
Bay
around the
area.
city and
Yeah,
Wild Coast and stuff. It's probably some of the best source book
absolutely.
for that.
Absolutely. Varnafane is in there,
Mhm.
and I love
Yeah,
that. And I've
yeah.
developed that entire story too.
And it
So,
was also in the era when they started to ramp up the production values
yeah,
of Greyhawk stuff. So they starting
yeah.
to get better
But you
and
have your
better art
connection.
and stuff. Oh, you muted. We lost you.
Lost.
Jay, yeah, you unplugged yourself. Yeah. No, he can't hear us either. This is okay. We'll see here. Yeah. Oh,
I totally agree, Jason.
yeah. We'll see here. Yeah.
Warhammer.
Uh-oh.
He still has not figured it out.
He hasn't gotten it yet. There you go.
I showed
There you
them.
go. Awesome.
I
Yep.
knocked out my cord.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You end up
We
with a
heard
Living
it.
Greyhound Gazetteer all the way
Yep.
across. And
Mhm.
those are your setting books
Yep.
from that list. All
And a
right.
special class of resources, so to speak. A
Yeah.
special type of
General.
resources.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Jay pulled it right out with him twisting and turning.
Yep.
Sorry about
Mhm.
that.
It's okay. Yeah.
But we got other ones.
Yeah.
There are other great resources.
Well, then you have from the type of adventures that are fantastic. If you just want a little location that is super cool to run adventures in.
All right,
and
Anna,
stuff.
give us
Yeah.
one.
Well, the Hamlet, I think, is
Okay.
the perfect one, so to speak. To if you want to start in Greyhawk and you don't want to read the whole setting, you just want to start out, get a feel for it, then Hamlet. Yeah. And exactly, pick up the whole Temple of Elemental Evil, also on Drive-Through RPG, both in PDF and you can get a reprint, I think. And that's perfect because you start in Hamlet and you can move on and you take the old little moat house and you can move on to the temple itself, Nolben the temple. It's a great tied into the setting, has some villains that are part of the setting, it has some good flair. So yeah.
So I'm going to make an announcement I shouldn't because I'm dumb, but I'm going to do this. All right, for Virtual Greyhawk Con. Okay, it's in the finalization stages of getting this set. I am commissioning someone to make a custom artwork for Virtual Greyhawk Con, which goes around the village of Hamlet, custom for us only. So stay tuned. Yes, it'll be like how Gary Con has artwork every year. Well, this will be our artwork for Virtual Greyhawk Con. That is coming. So with this temple book, I'm going to say in here, you get to see Ayus and St. Cuthbert and Zugtmoy stolen which reappears in Tony's Xanthoria book in the Candlekeep Mysteries. But you get Fragorak, you get the Prince of Ulick gets. Just listen to me. The Prince Thrommel of Ferendy gets saved. It doesn't turn into a vampire ever. You get a lot of great stuff in this book. You also get some references to the Battle of Emerald Meadows and the background, and it's a great reference for that area. Mike, commentary on the temple. Anything you'd like to add or besmirch it?
As adventures go, that would definitely be a good resource to go to if we're talking like establishing a campaign.
Yes.
Not many other adventures are like that in Greyhawk. Like I can take White Plume Mountain, but after White Plume Mountain's done, that's kind of it, right?
That's a great point. And it's not a competition module either.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a little sandbox. Yeah. So it's very different from a lot of the other really old Greyhawk modules or modules that were set in Greyhawk, either as written or shoehorned in afterwards.
Yeah, I suppose White Plume Mountain does have the map that you could develop some of the stuff around it. Maybe Tomb of Horrors would be a better example. It's out in the middle of the swamp and you beat the Tomb of Horrors and that's it. Great adventure, iconic and all that, but is it a great resource? No, I wouldn't put it.
Right.
Adventures are hard to compare to source books.
So if you go to my campaign and back then, 1980, Hamlet's out, right? But the Temple's not out, and the Temple doesn't come out for years, so we're kind of
Exactly. It was.
stuck, right?
Mhm.
And we wanted to run it, and couldn't, and that kind of sucked for all those years. And when it came out, I was really excited. But note that my campaign starts in 569 at the Battle of Emerald Meadows, and all the original first generation characters were participated in that battle as when they were young, like 17, 18 years old, if they were human. And that's where we started our campaign because I thought it was such a great story. And then so, you link that all in, you got to flesh out the area afterwards. That's the thing. And that's the thing with a lot of Gary Gygax's early publications is it's not all the details not there. There's a lot of places for you to develop, and I think that's the best way. Yeah, well, that's cool. I love, and I know Goodman has a reprint on it, and a 5e reprint, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. Um, which is cool. And I know 20 Sides Every Story is running it right now, and I think Armin is still running it as well. And I just think that there's a lot of great campaign Greyhawk based information in that book. So thanks, Gaetano. So, series The Adventures started.
I remember the Adventurers. Boy, haven't thought about that in a long time.
Elaborate, Mike, because I don't know anything.
No. What Nebbiolo just posted is really all I remember.
Okay, is it?
And it's still ongoing, evidently.
Wow, is it? Is it web based?
I'm like struggling here because I haven't really referenced it since before I ever started cartooning or blogging.
Neb, you're more than welcome to link it. It's fine.
I need a link on that.
You can link it, please,
Yeah.
if you have Facebook. Yes, thanks, Mac. Please give a like to the Virtual Greyhound Con page because we're going to be ramping up soon. Very, very soon with everything. It's coming. We've had our first meeting. It's coming. Virtual Greyhound Con 2. If you were on Gavin on Sunday night, Alan Hammock said that he was pretty sure he would DM for it, which is great. And we're going to reach out to a lot of these old schoolers that I've had on shows and ask them to DM. All right? Maybe not stream their games, but DM them. I'm going to ask a whole boatload of them. Why not, right? Why not ask and see what they say? So that's cool. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to take a look into that, and that's fantastic. Great one. If he keeps up on some of the stuff that goes on in if it parallels some of the publications. All right. So Anna brought up the Hamlet. Mike, you want to bring up another one we haven't discussed? If we go off a little bit off the board here,
let's just say we've already ran through my entire list.
Really? Well, let's go into detail on one of the ones you wanted on your list.
Oh man, it's crazy. You're blowing through a lot of stuff there.
Let's
see, like From the Ashes.
So many. Okay.
Yeah, I mean we're dipping into adventures now, so
that's okay. We can talk about it.
No, what I wanted to say about From the Ashes was that Carl Sargent was really, like him or hate him, he was trying to introduce some new stuff that wasn't just Gygax's ideas and maybe a lot of the same stuff over and over. Maybe that's been done. So like when you take a character like Philidor, didn't succeed. Fans didn't buy into it. That's why it was dropped.
Yeah.
But he was trying to create things. That's the way I see it. If Philidor had been well received, we very well could have been reading Philidor novels like we do Drizzt novels. I don't know. It's
that's a great way of looking at it.
So he was trying to introduce new concepts. As now fast forward to the present with 5e, where they're not putting out Greyhawks up per se, but anytime something is Greyhawk referenced, it's like Morning Canaan, just the tried and true stuff. So at least he tried to create something new.
Mike, you're absolutely correct, and I'm going to just rattle off some that are in my campaign now, for better or for worse. Okay, that come in from the Ashes box set. All right, the Fighters of the Light, the Fultus Lawful Neutral Mercenary Group and Greyhawk. They have now in my game, they have a unit in Hardby, they have them in the Shieldlands, and they have them in Altamira. And they're all, and remember, the winner of the joust was a Fighter of the Light member too, if you remember Matthew Barnabas during GaryCon. So that's one that it comes right from that book that I expanded on. Corellan's Arrows, another mercenary group. I named them all, put them all out there. The Varnafane, I mentioned that. I put an article about Varnafane in the Earth Journal based on that little, 2 paragraphs that they wrote in that From the Ashes set on these axes that were supposedly here that are now gone. I mean, there's a lot of great little bits and pieces in From the Ashes. Plus, also, in the deity section of this, if you are a 2nd edition person, you can go to your deities here. I got the wrong book here. It's in the Atlas book. And you can, it gives you spheres. So like if you go to Paylor here, it'll tell you the spheres that you should have as far as creating, and it's right here. It's under requirements. You'll get the spheres major and minor, so you can create a specialty priest off of that, plus abilities. So that is another big help from the Ashes set. Just to name a couple.
The one book with all that stuff is the better part of From the Ashes. The glossography part of it is really isn't it just like a rehash of the gold box, basically? Just with the...
It could be, but it's more tailored to that 2nd edition era of gaming, right? Whereas in 1st edition, they didn't worry about that stuff as much, right? So let me take a look. That's a good question.
That you have on the scroller is even the Undying cover that someone put together.
Yes.
It was making it look like a 2nd edition product. It was just past.
Yeah, in this one in deities, they don't have the spheres that they have the domain over. I don't see it in here. They're just talking about the deities in here, right? So they don't.
It was not detailed to that level. So
they're not telling you like what each one does as far as their abilities as a. And Ouija is not in here either. Ouija is not in this book.
Yeah, that's why I love the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, because it goes into much deeper and wider and has more of the deities, and you list their spheres and favorite weapons and stuff. So it's kind of
So if you want the closest book to modern times as far as a setting based, this is it, right?
Oh yeah.
This is the one.
And it also sums up a lot of the early history from the other books. It's also in there, so to speak, and put into context more than the old ones. So
backwards compatible.
So everyone, Cal staff is making reference to the little tiff I got into with one of my players last Thursday night when he cast a fireball near brown mold. And Carlos knows what happens when you cast a fireball near brown mold. Yes. So, and he argued with me, brown mold doesn't do that. I said, I don't care. That's what happens. So,
like Carlos.
Yes. Carlos loves brown mold, and so do I. But it was Tony's the one that placed it there in the adventure. There's a lot of details in here about all the locations. And we got to say, Gary, Gary's not on tonight because of the move. Gary Cooley and Eric Mona, Whining, and Reynolds did a fantastic job with this book. It's a must-have. A must-have for everyone.
And there is also the 2nd generation of Greyhawk maps, the Paizo Hawk maps that came out a few years afterward. That was supposed to be released by Wizards or TSR earlier in that time, and then that was picked up by Eric and then became part of Dungeon. I think for Dungeon you can still get it at Paizo. So
you can still order them. Yep, absolutely.
The Rob Lazzaretti maps.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that first you have the Darlene map, the Rob Lazzaretti map, and the Eric Annenson's work on it, and then mine. So there's been like 4 generations of Greyhawk maps that I think all of them have something awesome to contribute to it.
But see, you kill a whole party with brown mold. Yeah, exactly. Brown mold's nasty, man.
Yeah.
Nasty. All right, so this one, I'm going to go to one here. The one showing, you've all heard this multiple times. I know it's beating a dead horse. It's up. D3.
Oh, yes, you have to. Yeah, please tell why you love D3 so much. Yep.
D3 is your Bible for Greyhawk Dark Elves. Okay. If I see anyone using the Men's Barons and box set for their Dark Elves, I'm going to summon a meteor swarm in your entire planet, because that's not the way Dark Elves are supposed to be. This book shows you how Dark Elves are supposed to be. Weapon and buckler. Okay, maybe some are two-fisted. Not every single one is a Drizzt running around with two scimitars in each hand. Okay, with spell ability, with susceptible to light. The houses are really detailed in here. The clan merchant, drow merchant houses are in here too, which is really neat, which really get forgotten a lot of times, about how how they are. The fighter societies, female and male fighter societies. Just Aralhai Sinlu itself. I know Joe Block has a great write-up on this afterwards. Yes, sleep poison, Tim. Thank you. Uses not necessarily hand crossbows. They can be hand or light crossbows, but they don't use. They're big on multi classes. If you go with that Men's Barons and set, the females are all clerics and the males are all mages. BS. Okay, a lot. If you look at this, take a look at this list. Look at all those classes there. All right, male, female. They're all so. They can be both classes. No, cleric females tend to be stronger. Males, mages tend to be stronger. But it doesn't mean you can't mix them. This is your 3E Drow. The Underdark has 22 pages on the vault. Well, that's cool, Jason. That is the return. You mean the return to the Drow, the Underdark by Wolfgang Bauer? Or are you talking about? You're not. Oh, the 3E book, not the Ed Greenwood book. The 3E book. Got it. Okay, cool. Well, that's good to know. I've never used the 3E book or taken a look at it, but this is
there's some awesome stuff. Yep.
Great items: Wand of Vista Globs, Death Lances. Yep. They're all in here. So there you go. That would be. Yep. Get it. Is this available on drive-through? If it is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the one to get. And
hang on a second. I might be wrong, but yeah.
Mesodemons and
before I say it for sure, I need to triple check this, because I've spent several $100s buying all this old stuff at drive-through. So yeah.
Well, Derek, multi-classing back in the day was the way that 1E handled. There weren't specialized classes but I mean, it's iconic in our game. And you saw last week, Gazumba's a fighter cleric mage, and Walt's character Devitt, the Dark Elf, she's a cleric, fighter cleric thief, both triple class, so pretty neat. It's not on pod. Okay, so that one's tough to get a hold of. That's a shame. It should be. That one should be. If you can get a hold of it somehow, it's one I recommend. So
right, Jason Mike says that 3E Drow the Underdark has 22 pages on the vault.
Yeah,
I was just looking, and Vault of the Drow I think is 28 pages.
Yeah, and it is available on the drive-through RPG for $4.99.
Yeah, and
it is okay.
So,
but it has the blue cover though. So
that's it. It's got the blue cover, not the pink cover. It's got the second cover. All right, so it is available.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. It's in PDF. Well, that's good. At least it's in PDF.
Oh yeah, it's in PDF, and yeah, I'm going to talk about that later. So please.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that. Oh.
Yeah,
I was going to say is if that's all you need to know about Drow, I guess that's good and concise.
And then you have this.
I was just for fun flipping through Slavers.
Oh!
I was like, what's on page 28 of Slavers, we're not even to divers yet. We haven't even got to the Palmars by page 28. Maybe just there isn't that much about Drow to be said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's falling apart.
This book, number 3 for me. Beautiful, wonderful. Detailed with neat items, great NPCs, copies of Marquesa running around. One of my favorite baddies of all time, right? Right here. Alita Norbalos, right? That one. Just wonderful, wonderful detail. Once again, going through that whole Wild Coast, Hardbee, Divers, near Deve, Star Cairn area.
Yep.
All the way down. So Yeah, Marquesa is one you love to hate. It even has, you know, the Malenti in here. It's got a full adventuring party. It has specialty priests of Kellenin and Merlin in here for you to write up on. So yeah, definitely, Mike, a top one. I am not. Scarlet Brotherhood has a lot of great detail in it too, and I have it here. I just I don't use it that much.
Actually, now that you bring that up, Scarlet Brotherhood is, if you go on my blog, I had my top 5 Greyhawk resources way back in the day, and Scarlet Brotherhood's in my top 5.
Oh yeah, I must give it that too. It's one of these source book materials
being,
that
it's probably the only one that significantly expands upon the Darling
with this map.
Yep.
With this map here.
Exactly, it expands
Monoland?
south. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You might not agree with how the Scarlet Brotherhood is painted, but it's still world building it.
Yeah, it had high ambitions and good production values, and
you know, and there may be some things that are definitely not PC now in here, but it's a good job of. And what was the discussion that I think we had? This is skewed from the Scarlet Brotherhood point of view, right? So it's kind of, a lot of it's considered propaganda in this book for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, you can interpret the book that way if you want. That's I think a perfect way of reading it. Yeah, I think so.
They use common years.
No, they use Sewell.
Yeah. Dates,
Yep.
But I like that book because, like, inadvertently, it helped out my Sea Princess campaign, which is clear on the other side, the continent. But it's because of that map expansion, flesh out more of the seas and the jungles. It helped my nautical Sea Princess campaigns.
And there's no doubt that James Jacobs used that book to do Savage Tide.
Exactly. Right. Yes. It was a stepping stone for the Paizo Hawk. All the expansion down with the Sassarine and all that was based on that book. A lot. Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. But then again, who am I? He said they are.
Well, even paper tigers can kill a beast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They are a minor nuisance in my game because I just don't want. I have the Dark Brotherhood. I had them for 30 years. I have had a lot of other baddies, and it's just the direction of a campaign it goes. And Mike and I both agree, keep them out of our Sea Princes.
Yeah, I want to have them as a villain to deal with in a future campaign, so to speak. So I'm still kind of forming my opinion about the Scarlet Brotherhood, and maybe in the 4 or 5 years I'm willing to take them on, so to speak, in a campaign.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Take them on, kick their asses.
Well, paper cuts they can hurt too, so to speak.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah. So, all right, Anna, Mike, come up with I got a bunch of books here we haven't even discussed.
I want to kind of turn around a little bit. Instead of naming resources, I'm going to say a little bit on how to use some of these resources. And the way I've dealt with it is I've spent probably $300-400 on Drive-Thru-RPG, buying as much as I can of all the stuff of old Greyhawk and old D&D stuff that has a remote semblance of interest for Greyhawk, and then put it all into Evernote. Taking all the PDFs and just stuff them in Evernote, along with all the web information I found on the internet and stuff, and just stuffed it full, because that way I get a library of Greyhawk stuff that I can just search. And I put things in there, and I tag it. I put it in a research folder. I tag it with the area, or if it pertains to IUs or Igvil or whatever it is, or some special time period or something. And that way I can just say, I'm interested in Niron, and then I can just go to Niron and see I have like 500 and something stuff in there. I can search for place names, I can search for people and whatnot. That is a great resource. So for me, the PDF version of stuff is more useful than the printed one, because the PDFs are searchable and you can index, you can copy things. Meaning now I'm building for my own campaign, I take tidbits out of all sorts of products, and then I put it together and I rewrite it for my own campaign. and then I use other tools like World Anvil and Legend Keeper to do that job. But Evernote is where I stuff all the information in there, and I put things like blog posts from Mike and John
Hannah,
and
you're like a
great
whole
stories.
century ahead of me
Yes,
in
yeah, but
technology.
it's I think it's but it's
I will open
super
up.
simple.
I'm sorry, Anna. I will
Yeah.
open a PDF up when I'm doing my blog. I will open up a PDF and I will type from reading the PDF.
Oh no, I just copy it and paste
Yeah.
it in when I need it. So yeah,
That's how hardwired I am to books.
yeah, okay. But sometimes I read it just because I feel like it, but often, and the other cool thing is that when I have it, all the library, all the PDFs in Dropbox and all the information in Evernote, I can just open my tablet and start reading something. If I'm sitting at an airport somewhere and I have my whole gaming library with me, wherever I am, I can just take up my tablet and just start reading. Like, oh, I want to do something in Keoland, so I want to, or like Niron, and I want to refresh. So I want like, oh, Markland, what did they say about this? And then I can start reading a bit about it. So for me, that kind of getting the information in a digital form right away has been a game changer for me. Especially, I can just put together stuff and I can read it and I can search for it.
So Phantom Rob just said his number one resource is your map, Anna. So and then
thank you. Yeah.
And
Evernote, yes, Evernote has a freemium model, so you can use a lot of it. You're only limited to, you can't stuff it with gigabytes per month, so to speak. You can, but to store information and put a PDF in there a day or every day or so, that's perfectly fine with the free version. Otherwise, it's like $40 or $50 a year, and you can stuff it with gigabyte, like 10 gigabytes a month or something.
wow.
And there is no upper limit. It's only a month, meaning your Evernote can grow to any size. It's only like you can only store so much per month. I think it's 10 gigabyte now with like the $60 or 48 or something per year. So it's a great way to just put it in, tag it, and then search it afterwards. So
there's a lot of those resources that are not that expensive. I know Obsidian Portal's $5 a month.
Exactly.
Right?
You can,
that's
and then you have all these, and that's something we should do for another show. Maybe talk about Campaign Manager or something for some other, maybe not in Legends lore, but some. For me, they become a game changer in putting together stuff for my own campaign and stuff. It's kind of
I'm a notebook guy for my stuff. I just like having those notebooks and just.
But for me, it was when I've had to find stuff for my, meaning a place name, for instance. Someone said that, oh, you've forgotten this town or this city. I wanted to know what was written about it. Now I can search through Evernote and basically find every piece of information about that city or that town, or like a river name or something like that. So, and that's kind of amazing. So yeah.
So someone in chat brought this up, and I have one of them. I have this one scrolling through. I think this is the first reprint when they came out after a break of all those years. But this is the Gary Con 11 valuable, only 100 ever printed Earth Journal.
Yes.
Look, I even have Anna's larger insert in here still. So you want to talk about? Yeah, you want to talk about something that is a great resource, and of course you can get this free in PDF. But look, Anna's ad is here and everything, and notice it's a little bit bigger than it, so it didn't fit in. But
it's a bit bigger format. So
but, this was, and this is the one. This is the Gary Con I missed because I had that work award getaway weekend in Florida.
That was a crazy product and time. Getting all that out before the show.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? This was nuts, and so.
But that seminar was kind of amazing that we got it together. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
So if you, this one has an adventure by Carlos Lysing in it, that's just deadly. I remember that. Has a lot of great articles in it, and this is the Order of Ulick is written up in here.
Yeah.
Along with the situation in Shieldlands, which is a little outdated now, but the Order of Ulick, it's my first article ever in an Earth Journal, issue 28.
Yeah. And
Got it.
I have one source more here that I need to mention as one of the really good one, and this is this one, the Monster Mythology.
Great.
It's fantastic. This is
Nice.
an
Good generic
awesome
one.
source
Very-
because it lists all the demi-human, the humanoid gods and clerics and stuff. It's a godsend, and it doesn't say Greyhawk on the top, but this is a Greyhawk supplement. Yes, that's a
Wait a minute, someone's asking me
I
a
never
question.
got my copy till very recently, within the last few years.
Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, I have a. I can hang on a second here. Yeah.
This actually has some of the adventure locations marked that were on here, but as you can see, yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah, I have a rare thing here that this one has never been published. This one was for last year, the Gary Con that was canceled. I made a new version of it. That was I printed a couple of hundred of these, but then the convention got canceled. So here is an update, an updated version with all the
what did you do
a lot
with
of
those?
goodies. They're still sitting on the shelf here. So, oh yeah, they're sitting. So we'll see. But I have the PDF for this. So I guess I should release the PDF to see. I released some of the information, but it was the handout that I was going to have for my seminar. So it's an update. I printed like I think 200 of it or something. So yeah.
This is our Journal 28.
Anna the Undying.
Yeah, Cal Steph, this is our Journal 28. There was only 100 of these made, and this was for Gary Con of 2019 when we were all going, and I couldn't go at the last second. When things were starting to roll again back in the day. That was the first one that Christoph did, and it was a cool time.
And Gaetano, yes, we have some giveaways for future shows. I'm hoping that I can do some special map prints and stuff for the map the map show and stuff. We'll see what we can do.
Let me hit that button there to just note that
one of these days.
Friday, June 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the first show of the Fancy Mapping Show, starring Alyssa and Anna. So that's coming up. Is there Spelljammer stuff in there? I don't know.
I don't have any Spelljammer stuff, so I kind of opted out of it. But yeah.
Yeah. So all right, time for a little fun. How can we go through all this without mentioning the greatest reference ever made of all time? Where there was a lawsuit over it.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Casey's on yet, so
but it is a great. I love that book. It is great because you got a lot of the crunch. Instead of reading 100 different modules or something like that to get through it, you get the essence of each of them. And I just wish that someone had written that about every part of the living Greyhawk and put that together in the Bible. That would be absolute awesome. Yeah.
So am I allowed to hawk that without Casey? I don't know, but hey, I am. So I saw a little bit of chat going on. I don't know if it was Greyhawk Online or if it was Cannon Fire, that other people should publish these in this format. Well, note that you have precedent now that if it's not an actual adventure and it is a summary of what happened, Casey went through all the legal rigmarole. So there you go. So you can do that. I am thinking about doing it for some of my campaign. I really am thinking about doing it. So pretty cool. Yeah, that's all right. Casey will be on last second. Sign up and win, just like what happened on Thursday night. Everyone during the game Thursday came on and then signed up, and he won one of the giveaways. So I may do that. I may, but let me walk that fine line with Watsy now, because I'm trying to get some of them, trying to get them on the show. I don't want to piss anyone off right now. We call a con Virtual Greyhawk Con already. That's, I think, enough of me pushing them for the time being. So
yeah.
So all right, Mike, give us something cool you'd like to use.
Well, in chat it was mentioned about the Voda Index, and I was like kind of staying away from online resources. But realistically, without that, I wouldn't be able to find anything in my hardback books.
Yep.
My physical books.
Yeah.
I wonder how many pages the Voda Index would be if you printed it out.
So when we had shows on like dragons and giants and stuff, and I print stuff out on them, we're talking like 30 pages for like giants or whatever it was. It was crazy. It's got to be 200 to 500 pages, just printed. I mean, something like that.
Oh.
I wouldn't want to print it out. It would do no good in a print form. I mean, it's just too much. It'd be like,
No, not now.
yeah, but oh my gosh!
Back in the day, I
oh yeah,
would have thumbed through that thing. I would carry that thing everywhere with me.
yeah, exactly. Gitano. I want to wait to piss off people. I pissed off enough people in my life, and you all know. Occasionally, I piss off people in the community too, and I don't want to go there right now. I don't need a confrontation, especially when, like I said, I have someone commissioning their take on the Moat House. Or I gave it, gave it out away. Their take on the Moat House with some adventures in the front and the old school look for Virtual Greyhound Con. So we don't want to piss anyone off. So all right, that's Zod. There you go. All right, I was waiting for someone to ask that question. We're going to talk about this one. Boom. Now, we went over this a couple weeks ago with Eric Mona, James Jacobs, and Jason Bowman. So, and we know what they did with this book. I am not an aficionado of, by the way, thank you, Patrick. He just sent me. Patrick, you're insane, by the way. Patrick just sent me a package for down the road of a Ravenloft package, which includes Expeditions to Castle Ravenloft. So I've never even read this. So Patrick, I'm going to be keeping that one. But and then I have Expedition to the Demon Web Pips from Wolfgang Bauer too. But this book here ties in, and Eric tells us what they were doing. They needed to get in as much as they could into this. They knew it was the last one.
Yep.
And they knew, so they got in as much. A lot of the Age of Worms characters are tied in here. A lot of the storyline, undoing Robilar, killing why Robilar killed. Went with Rari's in here. I know whoever fights me on it's Rich Longitalis. The Ayu's army going under the near Deve. Oh my gosh, Rich. I know you're not on, but. Him fighting about that. But there's a lot they really did a real good job on the story of Rigby dying's in this book. So it's a must. I didn't think I was going to like this at first, and then I really delved into it, and it was easy to back convert to 1E2E for me. And my guys, this is right before we finished this, right before we started streaming. It was a wonderful, wonderful adventure series. So, yep. Mike, any comments on it?
Yeah.
I must a big fat hard book, Greyhawk book, meaning it can't be much better than that.
Right, and a lot of cool connections. Yeah. I mean,
the only thing I don't like in it's that 300-mile long tunnel going from Land of Ayus to that is just like, come on, that's just. But that was just short-sighted or non-creative, so to speak, and unnecessary. But apart from that detail, I think it's a fantastic book. And that's just a minor little detail. Yeah.
Look, Casey's always late, so you missed it. You missed us talking you up there. But so, I mean, it doesn't specifically say it's coming from the lands of Ayus.
No. Well, it kind of, but that was just a minor little detail. That's the only thing I had negative to say about it. And you can just ignore that one sentence, and it's fantastic book. Yep. And it's also awesome production values, great art in it, a lot of cool sidebars, and full of interesting stuff.
And one last other thing is a lot of side quests in here to do. So there's a lot to keep you occupied. It's not linear.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a storyline that runs through it. And what I liked about it was I was able to take my low-level characters in Greyhawk City and have them do sidebar quests to assist the higher-level characters, and at the same time,
you got double use out of it, so to speak.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was just it was a whole. I had Iron Fury working for the Iron Brigade, and I had the Grey Company, the Thieves, do assist in the part where they had to go into College of Magic and go into Mordenkainen's Sanctum and steal stuff. So I had 3 different adventuring groups running at this at one time, which is really neat. So
cool.
Yeah, I liked it definitely. All right, here's another one. I haven't even talked about this. I don't know why we had how we could not talk about this
I was
book.
going to talk about
go ahead,
that
Anna.
one.
Go for it.
No. Yeah. No, I would say just mention it. It really lives up to its name, Treasures of Greyhawk. It's also an anthology with several different ones. I don't know how many, but it's like there's like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 adventures. It's a bunch of adventures, and they're also well grounded in the setting. And I think it's really cool, and it even has some heraldry and stuff in it that I found years afterwards. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So
I don't know if I'm just in a surly mood today, but I would arguably say Treasures of Greyhawk is a better resource that I would recommend than Expeditions to the Ruins of Greyhawk.
Okay.
Or others, just because it covers a broad area of different parts of the Flannis. You know, if you want to expand a campaign, you can just use bits and pieces of that book.
Tidbits here and there.
Nice.
Let me see. You are absolutely wait. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's
Expedition
16?
is definitely valuable to experienced Greyhawk DMs who want some kind of like more information on the ruins, more information on the Guild of Wizardry. You know, it's like the cherry on top.
Mike, it's a great point, and everyone, if you remember, I just ran Crossing into Steel to finish up my Shieldlands series that we were doing, and the Face of Xenos, which is the one after that, will eventually run at some point. But you know, I got that. I got the Santher sword into my campaign from here. There's a really great one with the dragon, right? God, what's the name of it? Is it a sword for a hero? You know, you have the dragon and the crystal mists. There's some great. I was happy too that I actually found location and heraldry that Anna did not have on a Greyhawk map too. Right? The Shroud of Karain, right, Anna? Remember we put that on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I used to write in my Treasures of Greyhawk book. I don't know why, but you know, I'm running this module and I'm like, you know, keeping track of hit points in the book. I don't know why I wrote in that book, but yeah.
Hey, you know, I highlighted in all my old adventures. My original Temple of Elemental Evils beat the hell with orange highlighter through it all. You know, that this one right here is my second copy, but you know, the good copy.
But that's one of the other beauties of the PDF. You can use an orange highlighter in the PDF, and it would not destroy any. Meaning, it's not permanent, but you can use it to highlight things and
highlighter in PDF.
Yep, that is really useful.
So Treasures of Greyhawk is a really must-have. And I don't know.
In hindsight, I love Treasures of Greyhawk more now than I did when it first came out.
Yeah, same here. But I read it first. I was like, and now I'm digging into it more. Yeah, but that goes with a lot of stuff. It's now when I have more kind of an in-depth knowledge of the setting that I actually enjoy and understand a lot of it that I didn't get the first time back in the day when I saw it the first.
I'm rather disappointed, like whose idea was it to put together Treasure of Greyhawk anthology? Why couldn't we get more like that?
No,
why
you're
did we get
absolutely right, Mike.
Why did we get Doom and Grind?
Let me see who the editor's John Pickens. I don't even know who that is. Now, cartography is done by Diesel. That's cool. Design, a lot of these names I do not know.
Like the joke Castle Greyhawk was a variety of writers, right? And they were all told, you know, write joke adventures. If someone had just told them to be serious, write serious adventures, you know, we would have had another good anthology like Treasures of Greyhawk, perhaps.
And your buddy Scott was involved in that, wasn't he? Scott Casper? No.
I know he had a Dragon magazine article.
Oh, okay. I thought he did it. I thought he was part of that book. No, I could be wrong. But I don't know any of the names on here. So you got Walter Boz, Jack Barker.
Yeah, and it's a lot of names that I'm not familiar with.
Louis Prosper, Tom
So
Prusa.
who whose idea was it? Who pulled the writers together? Why those writers?
We need
It
to-
might have been things
need
they've
to.
had laying around for Dragon articles, so God knows what.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But as we said earlier, they seem very well grounded in Greyhawk, so it's not like puppets or gargoyle.
No, that's true. This, yeah.
you
You just
they're
named
actually decent.
Yeah. Yeah. You just named something one of the two I may actually run during this fundraiser we're going to have coming up. Good point, Mike. And we should that's another thing we should do some digging into, along with, find out who actually his idea was that, because it's a great publication. Yeah, it's good print quality. This is a reprint. This one is a reprint, by the way. I have like 3 regulars. They're somewhere, but I had this out because Patrick keeps, our great Canadian gamers sent me a bunch of them. I'm sending some out already, as we speak. So we'll be 7 hours. Scott Benny. Well, Scott Benny, we know real well. Steve Gilbert, Janelle, Jack Ways, I know. Okay, so Scott did nothing. Maybe Scott did artwork in there. Maybe okay, maybe not. Ray Winter. All right, cool. Thank you.
So yeah, Steve Perrin, I've heard of, Ray Winninger. So some of them I haven't read.
So Ray Winninger is currently in charge of D&D, and the person who decides what 3 settings are coming back. I did not know that, Mac. Wow.
Yep.
Well,
we know it's not Greyhawk.
Very interesting.
We know it's not Greyhawk, so.
Oh, we can't rule it out for forever. There might.
No. We can't rule it out forever.
Yeah.
We can't rule it out forever, but we know it's not Greyhawk 113. Thank you, Index 27
This dog's been
months.
chasing that car for a long time.
All right, so I have to ask, what are your thoughts on this beauty, Mike, Anna?
Yeah. It's. I say I don't like, and I don't remember much of the adventure, but I say in some regards it's kind of almost unique. It has several city maps. The city maps are kind of awful in their quality, but at least they give a little hint to what some of the cities might look like. But I'm not so sure about the cartographer's real skills and grounding in the setting and
those
stuff.
Those maps must have carried over to Either the Undying and Mars.
Yes. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never ran it because it just seemed too big for me.
Yeah, you're chasing around it's like a road trip around the whole setting in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going from Rookroos, Relmore, Germa, Elrid, Wintershiven, Lukish, Roxas, Shendel, Verbalbank.
Yeah.
If Paizo had got their hands on that and made Fata Vistas, we'd all be gushing about it, right?
Oh yes, that would be fantastic. Yeah, it's cheap, put together.
How it was put together.
Exactly. There's hardly no production values. It's a lot of text and some cheap maps, and that's it.
Wow.
So
the coordinator Bruce Hurd, who's around, I see him all the time on
and
Twitter.
he's a great guy. So yeah,
Tim
he's a
Mohan's
great guy, and he done some awesome stuff. So but it seems like there was a lot of good intention by really talented people, but they had not much of a budget. That
so
is my
weren't
impression.
they supposed to? They wanted to make a city book. Maybe this is a case where they had one project, did a right turn, made it into this project.
There was supposed to be a city books, and then they say, "Oh, we have to make it into an adventure."
An adventure that is designed to introduce 1E to 2E.
Well, we know from Chris Pramus that they changed stuff at the last second a lot.
Exactly.
Right?
This kind of smells like that. Yeah.
Don't doubt that they didn't do that. This hurts my. What is this?
Exactly.
What is that?
It's a city map, and some of the maps they hurt your eyes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back then, that's probably state of the art.
Is this a Seoul City? Where is this?
I have to.
Or is this
now I have to get it so I
Brotherhood
can.
City.
Okay, I have to.
That's all right. The Brotherhood was founded. It looks like it's
I have to look at it here, so I have it here. So we'll see.
Hey, what's up, Skagith? Thank you so very much, man.
And here is like Relmord, and that's like one of the biggest, coolest cities in the whole setting.
That's not too bad.
And,
that's just okay. Scarlet Brotherhood City.
And it's kind of, first of all, it's kind of most of the areas inside the wall are completely empty, which is kind of weird since the city's probably been there for 2,000 years or something, or 1,500 years at least. if not longer. So it's kind of, yeah, and there's some art in here that are not too bad, but most of the stuff like this is
If you
super
took
basic.
the best parts of Fate Odysseus out, and then took the best parts of Greyhawk Adventures out,
how you doing?
Yeah,
and made it into one book,
that'd be
awesome.
Yeah, but then there are some city maps that even if they're simple, they're not that bad. It's, so to speak, they're at least acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, so I just I've never used the book ever. As you can tell by how nice of a copy I have here of an original.
yeah, there's Lukish. It's one of the better ones for being in here. So it's
I actually like the idea of players.
Lukish.
Yeah.
I just got done running a couple Greyhawk sessions several months ago in Lukish. Completely forgot that was in that book.
Yeah, and here is Rossi's, the only map we have of Rossi's.
It's a good one.
So I take this as you would read one of these kind of subway maps today. It's like a symbol, not the actual representation. But if I ever make a map of Rossi's, I will use this as my guide, but then I will make something much more prominent, so to speak, than this. But it's kind of interesting. So
they're also drawn on a white background, right? There's no other
no other detail
reference.
Exactly. Yeah. But I must say that the best map I like the most in this book is actually Chendel. That's the map I liked the best in here.
Pre-wars.
Okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to get in trouble for you. Ready? Because 20 sides. You ready? Okay. Yes. No. Yes. Hell no. Yes. F no. There.
Okay.
You like that? I'm in trouble now.
Okay.
So if I ever get Monty Cook on, I'm in trouble. So there you go.
Yeah.
I had to do. Thank you there, Puppet. Thank you, Jason. Yes. All right. But so okay. Well, we got cities in there. All right. Oh, what is that, Mike?
That's the El Raja Key archive.
Oh, is that on a CD-ROM?
Gaetano says that there's a better map of Razi's in there. I don't remember that, but I haven't looked at it in a long time.
Wait.
Is that a CD?
Yes.
Then you put that CD in the computer and you get that image out of there and make a blog post. You have to make the 1001.
Laptop does not have a CD-ROM.
Oh my god!
Hang on a second, I'll buy you a CD and send it to you. I have your address now. I go to Amazon and I get a DVD player and send it to you, so you can plug it in and get that.
My old laptop
info.
Could play that.
Yeah, but so you get that info out of there. Yeah.
Skagath just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love to hear Anna berate and scold bad maps and towns modules that should. All right, so Skagath, we have a little surprise you probably didn't hear, but we have a show coming, a brand new show coming. I'll blast it out right now with Alyssa Faden and Anna, the fantasy map making show. Once a month, it starts Friday.
Yeah, so we will try and
June 18th.
criticize maps from various. Yeah.
There you go. So, yep, absolutely. Friday, June 18th, we start the fantasy mapping show. Alyssa Faden. I did not. All right. So, what is what? I've never seen that. How many of those were made? The El Raja archive.
I got it at GaryCon, so probably not that many.
I don't have it. But then again, I have the somewhere in here. I have the CD-ROM for the first 250. The official ones.
I had that too. And
somewhere.
I had a kind of funny story about that one because I didn't get all the CDs. There's like 6 CDs in it, and I actually got 2 CD5 and not a CD6. So what I did, and I thought I was, and now I might be in legal trouble for this, but actually back in the day when I was so disappointed, but then torrent came out, so I actually went and torrented all the PDFs, so I filled it up that way because I had paid for it and I had it. It was just that was production fault, and since it came from America back to Sweden, I thought it was too bad, so I just used the dark side of the internet and got all the PDFs. So I had the 250 PDFs and put it on my hard drive, so to speak. So I got it, but that was a fantastic product. I just loved it. I'm still using it to this day when I'm reading through all the dragons. Yeah.
Yeah, and we won't talk about legal or illegal getting of stuff here.
Yeah, but
We
that
want,
was kind of borderline legal, borderline illegal. I don't even know because I actually paid for the PDFs, but I didn't get it because there was a
oh my God,
production
Hannah's a
fault on
criminal.
the
Hannah's
put
a
it in there. So yeah,
criminal.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so let's talk about some we haven't discussed yet. Some I got a couple. I got 2 third-party ones. One we just discussed on a show with
Yeah.
Chris Pramus, and one is a Bruce Cordell that our friend Eric Boyd made, black bordered.
Oh,
All right, so in the Guide to
oh
Hell,
yes.
in the Guide to Hell, we know there is an entire whole sect to St. Cuthbert within it. All right, specific to Greyhawk within this book. And also in Bastion of Faith, we know that there are specialty priests of Heronius and Hextor. And there's also the Shield Reclaimed, which I put right outside Crit Wall, which it fits perfectly. And the entire setting for this book is made for Greyhawk. Sorry, that's my opinion on that. And so these are both generically based, but they have some great Greyhawk resources within them. So both of those are pretty good. Let's see here.
Yay! Fantastic. Thank you, Gaetano, for the link to El Rajaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit pricey though at $80, but I'm looking into $80. So yeah.
I don't remember what I paid for it.
The deluxe edition's 100.
Yep. Yep.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Oh, I'm bookmarking it. So.
Oh yeah. I'm looking into that after the show. Yep.
And if there's a one that's less expensive somewhere,
signed by
Puppet, let me know.
Coots, right?
Very cool. Yeah, Guide to Hell's on print and demand, definitely. And Bastion of Faith should be too. Maybe not. Who knows? Both pretty good.
50 sounds about right.
So, Mike, I'm surprised you didn't talk about these. They're not great Greyhawk resources per se, but they got great magic items in them, right? And you talked about these in previous shows, right? 5 shall be one howl from the north. Right, they're both pretty good as far as getting those items, just the items, right?
Sure.
And I didn't even pull out my Falcon ones, the 3 Falcon adventures.
I guess if you were to say, "Hey, I want to run something in the, Barbarian North," that would be your only recourse if you were pulling books out. The premise of it's good. The finish, not so much. Like most things, something changed at the last minute. We ended up Greyhawk Wars. I think it was supposed to have a different ending. We'll never know. But,
it is. Did buy myself some print on doing? Well, yeah. I'm. Thank you for that. I may look into. I'll take a look at it and see if it makes sense for me. I got some fringe ones. Okay, they are published for Greyhawk, and they got some. They got some good things and some bad things. Some of them are better than others. So let's start with this. I think you like this one, Mike. Mordenkainen's Fantastic Adventure.
Yes.
Okay. I know you ran it and you were talking about it, so why don't you give us a little background as to why you like it?
Well, the first reason to probably get it is as a resource is there's an inset map on it. There's a blown up hex, which shows everything within 30 miles of Mar Castle. It's really unique in Greyhawk products. I think I take that back. Temple of Elemental Evil, the compilation has one of these blown up hexes that shows more of the surrounding area. So you could use it for a campaign thing, and then run your adventures in and out of the dungeon like anything else. And I also like it because it was then further expanded on in Dungeon 112, the Paizo area. And there's more lore put in there. It just keeps building and building. Rob Kuntz was involved in it, so it's consistent across the board. So as a resource, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree, and
Oh, and then of course you can literally play old Gygax characters in their youth, Mordenkainen and whatnot. Bigby.
Rigby's in here. Is Warnus in this one, or is he now the ape? He's now the ape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your Rag's in here. Bigby, Mordenkainen, Rigby.
Yep.
So, and that one, and then after that, then you go to this. Then you got Isle of the Ape after that, right? And that one, you need to. I know Warren Starcoat's in this one, right? Mariel's in this one too, if I recall. It's all apprentices. Is that? Am I thinking of the right one? It's apprentices of all the So it's got Warren Starcoat, Raquel Chert, Rowena of the Silverbrow. I know there's 3 others somewhere. Yeah, yeah, good to see you on here. I love this. Fill this in as you go.
Yeah. So clearly they had Isle Dread in mind when that was made.
You think so? I think that was the thought about it.
There's some similarity, perhaps. Yeah.
I got the Thrunch, yeah. So, I know there was a question earlier. I know I had Storm Power. So, I am going to do a Gabbin, okay, down the road, probably within the next month to 6 weeks, on DMing and doing Greyhawk for kids. Okay, so that's coming. We're going to do a show about how you set up, do adventures for kids. Because I have a game in that I play with my son and Bill the Master Crafter's son and Tim's son, and Tim runs some DM stuff too. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a Gabbin on that for younger folks. So yeah.
I was looking for another esoteric old, and that's Rogue's Gallery was one of these kind of really old school. I couldn't find it. It's sitting somewhere on, but it got misplaced on the shelves here, so it was not on my Greyhawk shelf. It's probably on my old school 1E shelf. But that is kind of fun because there is a bunch of the really old Greyhawk and a lot of the
You hit a home run there, Anna, and we made forgetting that one within the back, all those Greyhawk characters. That's a major mess up on my part for not even remembering that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because you have I'm see if I can find it. Hang on a second. I'll go to look because I have it.
Wow.
It needs to. I need to find it here somewhere. Exactly. There's a bunch of old Greyhawk stuff.
Phoebus.
In there,
I mean, all those characters in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rogues, yeah, I have mine. That one's in like a case somewhere in my old stuff.
Yeah, mine's up there somewhere.
Yeah.
You're probably working that day. Oh, well, at least it'll be available on YouTube and Twitch. But it's on a Sunday evening normally. But it's in the planning works to do one for.
It was in my pile that I read recently. Here,
there you
go.
It is. Very cool.
Yep, this is the one. Rogue's Gallery is really old. It's from
I like the
1980. So yeah, 1980, and it's
awesome.
Really old school, and it has lots of old NPCs, so to speak. So you had back in the day, you had a number of different bards with all the statistics. I think this is very Len inspired because when I went through Len's material, most of his stuff looked like this. Long lists of NPCs, the whole town, and then a little bit of text in between, so to speak. This was very Len inspired.
That was my first DM screen, and then I went with my own style on the this is cardstock, right?
Mm-hmm. But the interesting bit is not this bit here. That's not the interesting.
Back. It's the back.
Exactly, it's the back that comes with the.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, all Valerius and
exactly. Personalities is the evil last
mage. What was the evil
it's the last 2-3 pages that are, or the last like 5 pages are interesting because here comes things like Arat Bigby. It's
Certain's in there.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, is that a sealed copy, Mike?
Eric's cousin. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Luther, Mordenkainen, Phoebus, Robilar, Rigby, Certain, Talbot. Yeah. Tensor, Valerius. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
So it's one of these kind of cool things to.
Who's the main authors on that? Does it say?
Brian Bloom and Dave Cook. And
we
Jean
never even
Jean
asked Zeb
Vels.
about that when he was on. Oh, man,
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
No,
about that.
we talked about it, mentioned it briefly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
That's awesome. So just Storm Power, some of the Gavin ideas that came up in recent discussions: DMing for kids and Greyhawk, mass scale combat because of what happened at Premises with chainmail and battle system, and paladins and alignment because that one's good. Because that just went on and on and on blue boxes, and I'm gonna solve some of that once and for all. Those were 3 Gavin subjects that came up in discussion. And then we also have some other stuff that's already preset for Legends and Lore. All right, so let's keep on going through this on the bizarrity list. Here you go, Rari the Trader. Now, if you want some great maps for the Bright Desert, you have it here.
Yes, right? That's the definitive book about.
Yeah, you got. I'm not going to.
There is one that was added. There was one that was written in later era, early Living Greyhawk era, that used a lot of that material. That was put up as a PDF on TS or Wizard of the Coast website, if I remember correctly. That was a compilation. Yes, that adds some interesting. It has a better map than that one. Doesn't look as good, but have way more info on it. And so I can recommend. I forgot where, but it was one of these kind of locations. They updated it and stuff. So that was. But yeah, it's a Rari is a good one. Yeah.
I'm trying to find out who the author is on this. It just says official game accessory. It doesn't even say who wrote it. Oh my gosh. Design Anthony Pryor. Anthony Pryor. What's that, Mike?
They didn't want their name to be tied to it.
It says Anthony Pryor. Yeah. Cover art Valerie Valusek. It's cool. So there you go. It's got some good data on the Bright Desert, though. I mean, if you don't want to have Rari running around slaughtering things, you can still use it. So Eli Tomaros is another and all. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of these adventures that are well grounded in the setting, even if you don't run the adventure, and I don't do that, but there's still a ton of stuff that you can pilfer and use in your own campaign, so to speak. NPCs, locations, names, and also storylines, and you can kind of tweak the storyline and add to it. And what I do, since I go back to these classics, and then I think like, oh, okay, that happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. What does that place look like today in my timeline? And then I kind of weave the story from there.
My latest get Vecna Lives, pristine, so a cool one by Zeb. You know, we were talking about it. I had I didn't have an official. Well, I had a really bad copy, but a nice one now. So got some good information in here. You know, if you want to utilize that. You know, I'm not a fan of the Circle of 8 shows up and Vecna kills them all right at the beginning.
But and the good thing is this time for people that come in new, that wasn't beginning, meaning I think almost everything that we talked about is available at Drive-Thru RPG as PDF, and a lot of it also in print on demand. And that's a fantastic resource. You can get tons of this for reasonable amount of money, and you can get it as PDF, and you can also print it for a bit more money. And the print on demands are not bad. They look great. In some ways, they are better quality than the original ones. Better paper, thicker and stuff. So yeah.
All right, so we got 2 that are right on the border, if that. And so, but they got some good area maps in them where you can, and one of them is our favorite Patriots of Ulick that Anna just changed the map on area. All right, you have the Prince Field in that. I mean, this is meant for battle system, right? It's got a battle system scenario in it.
Yeah, it's that era when Chris Promise, he talked about it, that they wanted to get into miniature gaming. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So absolutely. So we already talked about, and Dewey Carther, my first article appeared in this search journal, 28. So you know, and this was the Gary
Mhm.
Con version. So I agree
Earth
100%.
journals are fantastic,
They're
and
fantastic.
even back to the very first Earth
Yep,
journals. Some of
absolutely.
them, they don't look that good, but they still have a lot of interesting articles and stuff.
What
And they're also
numbers?
searchable.
What numbers did you edit, by the way? Just want to know, because we are going to do that. We are going to do a Legends of Lore with all the editors from Earth Journal. So we're going to do
Oh
that down the
yes,
road.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's
Yeah.
another definite. So L&L, you know, the editor's edition of Earth Journal. Yeah, that'll be a nice. We're gonna have to figure out a time that we can get everyone on at the same time.
For this,
What? Oh,
someone said in chat that they still use Battle System. This is all my Greyhawk Wars and Battle
Yeah.
System.
Nice, all your chits, all
Mhm.
the units. Yep. 1727. Okay, very cool.
Still use that.
Oh yeah, so that would be the one before. I don't know how many year gap was there between that and 28. Probably, was it 10 years? 5, at least 5, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah.
years in between. Yeah.
So between that and 28, so box sets in still good condition. Yeah. So I think I got through all the books here that I brought, except for one. So if we go to old, here, this one really deserves. Here's 2 more, 3 more. We never talked about this. This is like the 3rd edition player's guide. I would, by Ann Brown. I'd rather have the 2.5 than this. But if you're,
They're both good.
they're both
They're
good.
both
This,
good. Oh
this
yeah,
one
they're
doesn't
both
have
good.
as much in it. It's more of a player's.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
but the player's guide is good
Yeah.
too. It's
So-
yeah, it's a good write up, and I also
Yeah.
love the production values. Those covers and maps and stuff are fantastic.
You can tell that book's lovingly written because there's just role play info in there that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We missed this. This is an adventure, but if you want details on Dorka.
Oh yes, City of Skulls. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You know, that's like if that came out today, you would bundle that with Eyes of the Evil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another great sergeant work here. I don't, you know, as you can see,
Yeah.
I never ran it because I didn't. My guy didn't care to rescue Homer.
No, and we yeah, and that's
Well,
one
thank
of
you, Patrick, for doing that.
the stuff that is now the backstory for my current campaign, because I had Katarina inserted back into that story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
so
love
I
Katarina.
kind of because I rewritten her role, so to
This
speak,
sucks.
and so I kind of used that as one of the backstories for my campaign. So we'll see when their characters kind of discover parts of the backstory that are into the campaign. So the City of Skulls is one of the inspirations that I read through and used as the and I tweaked it a fair bit too. So that's how I usually do my campaigns. I read stuff and then I make stuff, and then I kind of, okay, so what happens afterwards, and then I write that.
Yeah, agreed. That's why I haven't discussed Veil of the Mage. It is a mess.
Oh no, yeah, that
It's
is a mess.
just,
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about on multiple Legends and Lords and Gabbins. Just don't get the idea of why they're necromancers roaming around, and you don't meet Jaren at all. You have Tizzle and Sand there, and it's just like there's Galeb Durs hanging out, and it's just like, what?
I get the sense that it's something that was written more for the mechanics of the encounters, not for the story. When I read it, it was like, oh, that we want a bunch of cool monsters, and we want a bunch of cool encounters, but the story doesn't really resonate with me at all. Yeah.
I wish the map that was in Veil of the Mage, they would have put that much effort into, say, a Q-Land map or Sequences map.
But it was one of these high-flying locations they really wanted to do something cool with. So
yeah, because it was like mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, what's going on there? I want to mention another one too, and this goes back to 1979, and I just brought out all 3 of them, and that is the original Against the Giants. For the number one reason is that in G3 is your first sighting of a Calavra ever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in here, the tentacle wall and the tentacle rods, and you find out that you know, the Drower and
There's way more Greyhawk lore in that book, in those modules, than you realize at first. So
yes. And she's called the Epsis, EHP apostrophe SS, whatever that is. You know, that's what she's called, Clavdra, in this. And she's only 10th level cleric fighter in this. I mean, like I said, there's Clavdra's all over and what class she is, who she's worshiping, you know, all that deal. That's it's another show for another day. You like that, Calstaff? It's a great adventure. I mean, the whole series, and even the return is done pretty well. You know, if you're into the returns. As far as the returns of Keep on the Borderlands, I ran that. I never ran Return to the Giants, but I did return to White Plume Mountain, which I liked. I liked that one.
And now we know a bit more about White Plume Mountain, where it came from originally.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Absolutely. We definitely got to get him on. So
yeah.
They're all iconic, those old ones. And you know, for me, I didn't even bring out Shokanth because Shokanth has got all the Yaltels kind of written up in it. You know, it's got a lot of monsters that went into Monster Manual 2 in it. You know, and that being my number 2 of all time, Shokanth. So
and I want to add another resource is that when we talk about monster books, I loved Monster Manual 2.
That's a great one.
Because it had so many of the big like demon lords and the devils and stuff like that to me kind of felt like they really belonged in Greyhawk. So there was a lot of monsters, and when it came, it was like I was starved of new monsters. We didn't have that many new monsters back then, and then when Monster Manual 2 came out, it was like that was huge. I remember it was absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Onwards for love. So, Dirk Catherine says, Earth Journal 18 right up on the Veil of the Mage. Granted, now it's only 15 years old. That's a drop in the bucket for me, man. 15.
Yeah, that's new in Greyhawk, or fairly new. Yeah.
Shokanth is 4 for you, Calstaff. It's 2 for me behind Temple of Mental Evil, and then 3 bounces between a couple other ones. I mean, there's some good ones, but so. Note this. From this, I want to do, and with Mike, we got to figure out when, because I know some of them have tough times because we start later. But I want to do a return to the bloggers, Legends and Lore coming up too. So we get back Tommy John Kelly, we get back David, we get Will, who's doing a blog now, and some others. If you like to, I think we should do a return to the bloggers, specifically on Legends and Lore this time. That would be a good one to do. So we'll see if we can get a majority of them back on and talk about what's going on with content and what they see in store, because that ties into what we're doing here as far as resources go. We didn't even touch the great bloggers tonight, and there's some fantastic ones. So that would be
yeah. At some point, you're just gonna name everything. So
yeah, definitely
gotta keep it simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't want to, there's some great resources out there beyond the books that we're talking about tonight. I meant it to be, Mike and I, we meant it to be published, and we've been sticking to it for the most part. I don't want to.
There is one other published thing that really informed me when I was very young, and that was Len's Soul God articles.
Oh my gosh, great one.
Because I was really into mythology before I was ever into D&D. And those were what kept me, I started my subscription with those articles, and kept going with that. And really, it's, if I hadn't had that in the box set, I probably wouldn't be playing Greyhawk today.
So if you can, I think I'm guessing right on the number here. If you go to Legends of Lore 47, it's the first time we have Len on Legends and Lore. Now, I had him on Gavin before that, but I think on 47, we go over the Soul deities really in depth during that discussion with Len, and that is on YouTube.
That's when we find out about Ouijas and Aquaman and all that. Yeah,
that's a great one. He explains that
because I was reading those articles back in like 4th grade, I think, and then to have them explain it to me, today was just mind blowing.
And just to know that a lot of them are so prime in the lore now. You know, Ouija, exactly. Ouija, like the
Yeah,
I
Ouija
still say
board.
Joss.
Mm-hmm.
I say
Yeah,
Ouija.
Yeah.
yeah. Lurg is Grell. You know, there was already a monster named Grell, so they turned it around, make it Llerg, Lurg. So we learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It does, and it's such a shame. You know, it's when Len passed so suddenly. Well, he was. You know, we knew. We just didn't realize
We
it was
knew
coming
it
then.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, he was, yeah.
But that's a
Mm-hmm.
great one, Mike, and also Roger Moore's articles on the deities, the main deities. You know, you consider the Iridian deities. You know,
And those came before Lens, I think.
yeah,
Right.
they
So
did.
I had to
Yep.
work backwards. As I recall, there was a Dragon magazine article that came out with an index of articles. And I remember
It's
when
like
I got to the
100.
Greyhawk section, I was like, "Oh, what's all these articles?" And I had to
Oh
go
yeah.
back and find the ones that I didn't have. Oh man, it
Because
was like obsession.
all those events in the Eastern and Southern Planets
Yep.
articles that were early on,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where I know you referenced that. That's where they said the Horn Society had taken over, and the Greyhawk City of Greyhawk box set, where it's like, when did this happen? It
Mm-hmm.
happened in one of those discussions.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Gary had these kind of Greyhawk updates from different parts of the setting in every couple of issues of Dragon.
Yeah, somewhere in the 100, 112
Mm-hmm.
range, though. Yeah.
So
and that's, yeah, sorry.
Dewey Carthon, we are trying to get Roger Moore on. We're trying.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have
Yeah.
a connection somehow, if you have him on a Facebook or wherever, and you say, "Hey, we're trying to get," you know, Anna's tried a couple times to get
Mm-hmm.
him on a Legends of Lore or Gavin show or whenever he's free. So because we'd love to have him on, really would. So you know, if I can get Ed Greenwood on here, we can get anyone on here. You know. He's on Facebook, but he's happily retired. Yeah, but we're not. We don't want to talk. We just want to reminisce with him. That's it. We
Yeah.
don't want to talk about projects, and we just want to talk about those errors and just the fun he had, and just some of the things that were done. You know. So
Mm-hmm.
next up, Weiss and Hickman, man. Casey, if we get them, and we get whoever could get Rob Kuntz or Roger, we'll do the Wizards 3-1 because Ed is hyped. Ed Greenwood's hyped to do a Wizards 3 discussion. That would be the penultimate one. That would be fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yep, absolutely. All right. Well,
I
yes,
want to be the guy in the suit of armor who just sits there and doesn't say anything and listens.
that would be it. Well, he has Casey. We're working on it. I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off camera. I'll tell you off what's going on. All right. So we got a lot of things to shout out here. We're almost to our 2 hours, which went by very fast.
Yeah.
Mike, what's going on in your world, man? What you got going? We'll do the
I'm
giveaway
still
shortly.
on 2014, I think, or 2013, trying to go back through my blog and fix all the broken links. There's so many broken links. It's sad that I let my blog languish this badly with content that was just not accessible anymore.
Right.
But I'll try to fix it up. It's slow going now.
But that's all right.
Wonderful.
I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
now that you're in that maintenance mode for the time being, you
Yeah,
take a little time,
yeah.
do a little bit here and there, and it moves along, you know? Very cool. That's easy. You got anything else going on?
I might be getting back to my game this weekend.
Oh,
The
nice.
game where my friends destroyed Black Razor. So and we were in Lukish. That's where I was just like suddenly, oh yeah, Fate of This has a map
Yeah.
of Lukish. Derp.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to figure out how I'm going, because we're getting really close to the climax now. I got to figure out how to stretch out my content a little more. I've been kind of playing it by ear here lately. That's it.
Yeah, Lord British next, Blood. That would be funny. So, Mike, thanks as always. Sorry, I need my voice is starting to go, so I need to non-coffee it here. Anna, what's up with you? Probably a
Yeah, I need
lot.
to drink something because, well, yeah, it's kind of, it's big rendering week here. So I'm rendering and rendering and rendering. So I just have one computer that is just going around and around to render stuff. But there's a, right now is I published, I think it was 2 days ago, an update, a May update on my Patreon blog. I'm going to put that on my website too, very, very soon. That kind of details a bit. So let me just find out so I don't miss anything from there. So it was I talk a little bit about the changing to my patron, but we don't have to go into detail here. But the projects and stuff I'm going to work on. So for my campaign, that's when I do the majority of rendering at the moment. So I'm beefing up. So there will be more than 1,000 square miles of the shield lands ready for my campaign, and there will be a whole bunch of stuff coming out this fall. And for Greyhawk Con, so I will use a lot of that material for my games at Greyhawk Con. And also they will be published, so they will not come. There's a lot of stuff I'm working on, but when I work on it, it will take months or 6 months or something like that before it comes out. So right now it will be tidbits coming out for quite some time. So that is coming out later this like summer and fall and towards winter. And then I'm also working on the Earth model was such a huge hit, and people have been emailing me and applauding me for that. So, and I thought that, okay, that will be it for the first time, but I'm going to spend some time soon and kind of tidy it up a little bit more. And I'm also thinking about making a cold version of it, because Earth has these ice ages that come every 200,000 or every 20,000 or 50,000 years. And I was thinking, what if Earth has these kind of ice ages? What will the world look like then? So I'm going to look at the climate model for an Earth that is the cold version of Earth, because that is something that can happen every 5,000 years or whatever you want in your campaign. So I'm going to make a version of, because that might explain a lot of where different monsters and animals and humans and demi-humans and stuff live, so to speak. So I'm going to look into give that treatment as an additional stuff too. So that is coming fairly soon. That will take me a week or something like that to like 40 hours of study and putting that in there. So I'm researching that bit right now. So then I can sit down and actually do it. So research is about half of it, but that's good. I can sit on the patio and read about the climate and ice ages and how that affects climate and stuff. So I can make a stuff. So that is one thing that is coming. I'm also working more on my symbols, and I'm also now putting the groundwork for the Flanies, the map update and the Atlas update. So I'm putting it together. There will be like 200 something changes to it, and I'm also now figuring out what is the best approach to make the additional areas. What should I do a full 3D approach to it, or should I just do a Photoshop kind of do some shortcuts in Photoshop? So I'm trying out little test areas for both, and then we'll see which way to go, so to speak, because that will technique and that ties into Hepmona Land too, because that's which way I will go will decide which and when I want to do Hepmona Land. If I can do something that looks really cool in Photoshop without too much work, then I might be able to make a first version of Hepmona Land. If I want to go the route of doing really large scale in 3D, that bonus of that, it will take a little bit longer, but the cool thing is then we can have a very kind of a model of the whole planet in 3D, but with not the resolution of 5 feet per pixel, but maybe the resolution of 1 mile per pixel or something like that, but still get the mountain ranges and the basic data in there, so to speak. So I'm playing along and testing different workflows, and that will take probably about a month. But in a month, I know which way to go, and then I will dig down into that rabbit hole big time in June, July, August, and then then I can start putting all that bits to pieces and starting in September, and then hopefully we can have the new version of the Atlas and the Flanies map, which hopefully will be the last versions using the current technology with Illustrator and stuff like that, because then I plan to move on to GIS next year. But when it comes to the Atlas version, there we have, I'm not really decided which format to go to. Remember those old, when it started, there was actually an A4 paper. That's the European or international equivalent of the letter size. So basically an 8.5 by 11 page for each. So the Flanies was actually split up to 105 areas, I think it was. So that is one way of doing the Atlas. Or the other way is to do what I did last year, to make it into an 11 by 17, and then make it for the print version. So there is like a little bit of an overlap. So you have like a spread. That is way cooler and it looks fabulous. The problem with it is that it's way more work to do it, and I can't keep all the vector information. I need to, but maybe I can, but we'll see. So I'm going to do some tests and see if because I want to keep all the text and all the lines and all the symbols vector the whole way through, because that means that the print version will be way better. So I'm going to do some tests, and that will take maybe 10-20 hours of figuring out which way to go. But some people have asked me, like, go back to these kind of 8.5 by 11, the kind of letter size. So we will have like 110 pages or 120 pages or something. So we'll see. I'm thinking about either way, so to speak. So I haven't decided yet, but that was something I will probably decide in June, July, which way to go when it comes to the format and do it. So that is kind of, yeah. And easy zoom. Yes, the easy zoom maps are good. The problem with easy zoom is that it's just an image viewer. It doesn't have any layering capabilities. You can't turn things on and off. And that's one of the beauties with GIS. So when my Patreon reaches $1,000 a month, which it's this close to do, then I'll formally start the GIS conversion. And that's when I will start converting the existing map to GIS, everything. And the benefit, one of the big benefits of GIS is that you can actually export it out to create web maps for it. So you can create web maps that are layered, you can have different projections, you can have different scales, you can do all sorts of magic with the information once you have it in GIS form. It's a lot of work. It's probably many hundreds of hours to convert everything into GIS. So it's a huge undertaking. That's why I want to make sure I have enough money in the pocket every month, so I can at least devote like 20 hours a week for 6 months or something like that to just do it. And then, but once it's done, then you can reuse the information. So it's a huge bonus once it's done, so to speak. It's just that it's a lot of work to do it. So, and the other benefit of having GIS is that you can use it to make print versions. And that's my $1,500 goal on my Patreon, is print versions. So there is, I'm revamping my Patreon goals and all that. So yeah.
I've linked both Anna's and Alyssa's, but just
yeah. And then we have the
Anna, then Alyssa. Okay. So
oh yes, yeah. Alyssa does fantastic work. So and she's both, a lot of fun. So we have the upcoming show in June. So we have some ideas, and I'm jotting down the ideas we can talk about and stuff like that for that show too. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's new things on my symbols and stuff like that. But right now it will be tidbits. The next few months will be tidbits and previews and little things here and there. And there will be some more things from my campaign and some updates on campaign maps and stuff too. So no biggies. The big things will start coming in fall. That's when the big things will come. There will be my campaign map will be a huge thing, and I'm talking 100,000 pixels across, split up in 10 pieces or something like that. That I hope that I might even be able to get printed. So that might even be a first test run with Noble Dwarf to see if we can have those campaign maps printed. and stuff with it. And so there will be some cool, and there will be village map, towns maps, and stuff like that coming too. So that will come this fall. And then the biggie for this year, the 21st or the 2021 version of the map and the atlas coming this fall too. And then I'm also doing the groundwork for Lendora Isles, but that's because I'm going to use the technology I'm used for my campaign maps to do Lendora Isles. So the campaign maps is my test area, and God, I've done so many mistakes on the way, but now it's starting I'm starting to iron out the procedure, how to go about it, so to speak. So yep. So that was my kind of
Awesome
plug for this week. Yep.
And just note, we'll announce more because we'll have some ad banners and stuff coming up for the new fantasy mapping show. So sit tight.
Yep.
That is coming. All right. So what's going on the rest of the week? Action-packed week here. So starting tomorrow night.
Sorry.
Go for
there
it.
was one question. Carthan has. I'm going to Origins of Gen Con. No Origins of Gen Con. The first con I'm actually thinking about going to is Gamehole Con.
Yep.
So Gamehole Con or PAX Unplugged. Those are the two I might go to.
Philly.
I haven't decided yet. So yes. So those two are the ones that I'm contemplating, so to speak. So but it will be decided within a month or two whether I go to them. So yeah.
Definitely some things going on. We do have our virtual Greyhound Conduit-Cathon. If you want to participate in that, please let me know. We're in the planning stages now, all virtual, but it was a blast last year. It's going to be a blast this year. Tomorrow night, Anna loves the topic, title name, Never Let a Crisis Go to Waste.
Yes.
So Adventure 912, it'll take place in southern Celine, and because of the Xanthoria plague that is still ravaging the area, even though she's been dealt with, it's winding down. Those of vile and evil intent are taking advantage of the chaos going on in the Celine, Carwood, Altamira area. So that's what we're going to do. We start that on Thursday. Infinite Dimensions, our 1-3D sponsor. Some good giveaways from them tomorrow night. All right, now, I am not one for taking selfies, as you all probably know, but I got to give Stella credit. She makes up really nice stuff. So here we go for our Saturday night special. Look, trial on the Trail of the Mistress, right? So that is, yes. There are my players. Stella, Runaway Robot, that D'Angelo, the Lady May, and Time Lord's wife Kayla will all be playing in this. And I know a lot of you are planning to scare the hell out of them when it comes to anti-hero points. I will. Is it the same name in Discord? I will friend request you and do that in Discord, and I'll connect you with you there. They're all going to, Troy, they're all going to die. Oh man, you guys are terrible. Oh, come on. You're gonna don't, yeah, well, it's okay. We'll see. So I'm going to be running this adventure. Two of the characters. Stella's character, Sierra, her half Dark Elf, half Sylvan Elf Ranger Thief, and Kayla, her specialty priest of Gary's new Saint Benedor class, her human there. And then from there, they will be on an adventure, one shot. I guarantee I'm going to scare the shit out of them. So I can't wait. That is Saturday night special, 6 p.m. Probably run about 5 hours right out of Altamira to start. But that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I guarantee you no lossels on that one.
Okay, no lossels.
No lossels. But I'm going to have some fun. Now, Sunday night's normally a Gabbin night because of Memorial Day weekend. I'm having people over here Saturday night, so we go to Sunday night for the Gabbin this week, okay?
Oh, you mean Monday night?
Monday. I'm sorry. Yeah. Jeez, thank you, Anna. Oh, so Monday night's Gabbin. It should say, does it say Monday in there? Yeah, special day Monday. Last day of the month of May. Spicing up your thief. So we're going to talk about thieves and subclasses. Plus, to assassinate or not.
Yes, that's a very interesting one.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the assassin. I have the bounty hunter, but I think the assassin has a place still if used properly and carefully. But Tim will join us on that to give his 2 cents as well. And we'll discuss that, on Monday night's special night. Some other things in the works. This is going to be a big Legends and Lore. This is a Saturday special Legends and Lore. Okay, number 104, Saturday, June 12th, 11 a.m. which means at 6 p.m. for these gentlemen. I'll have Sampo Harla, Nitessine. We'll have the Finns on from Living Greyhawk to talk about
Fantastic.
Alyssa.
Yep.
And we're doing it on a Saturday so we can accommodate them with the out time difference. I have invited Creighton Broadhurst as well. I have not gotten a response back yet whether he will be attending or not as a guest. So,
I hope so.
we're trying.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is Saturday. There'll be 2 Legends and Lures that week. And then note of all the other great stuff. That night, there'll be a Cannon Fodder G-Off group Living Greyhawk Saturday Night Special by me as well. So I got 2 streams that day on Saturday. So you're going to see Casey playing Garn, Anna playing Imri, and Owain's playing, and Susan Threadgill is playing. But there's only 4 characters, so we've invited Kayla and Stella to jump in. So you'll have your friends there, Anna, in that game as well.
That sounds awesome.
Yes, so that's what
Looking
a lot
forward to it.
going on. A lot of things going on. And then the week after that will be Anna's new show. We got a ton of content coming up.
Me and Alyssa and Jay will have fun with maps.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you. We're going to keep things rolling, and the special guests are going to be coming. I know you guys are kind of spoiled. I've had Zeb, Chris Pramus, and Alan Hammock in the last 3 out of 4 weeks on Gabbin. So I can't. That pace is just a little crazy.
We have to have a week when we don't have any.
Yes, or a week or 2 maybe. But we're working on some other special guests. Some of them that you've recommended to me, and just let me know. So here we go. Here, let's do the giveaways. And remember, since we had a level 5 hype train, we're doing 2. Okay. Oh my gosh, Gary just came on. Oh, Gary! Yay! Gary just came on, and there he is. So Dewey Carthon's on, Gary. That's great, and we're going to talk to him about Virtual Greyhound Con, along with some other things. Last call for signing up for the drawings: 2 $25 gift certificates to Troller Games. I will just send them to you via Discord or email. Real easy ones to do. Remember, we got our STLs tomorrow night. So, all right. I think everyone's in. I'm going to close this out. Are you ready? There you go, Ernie. You just got in. All right, closing it out. First winner tonight. Mattias. Oh, did you get in, Mattias? Mattias, I'm looking through your name here.
No, he after Steam Labs announced.
Let me open it back. I'm going to open it back up. You got 10 seconds, Mattias. Put your name back in. Try it. Go for it. Hit exclamation point drawing again if you haven't done it. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Gary got in.
Gary didn't. You got to put them together, man. Or you were just kidding. Oh, there you go. I think you're in already. Oh, no one's won yet. Here we go. I'm going to close it out. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm closing it out. And thank you, Scottish Jeff. Here's winner number 1. Spectreculus. That is a new name.
Oh, that's a cool
Spectreculus. Winner. Are you on to claim it? Yes, you are. Wow. Spectreculus. I need an email address. Very congrats. I need an email address and or a Discord that I can put that into you. I see you are on. All right. I think it's Kalis, Spec Trek Kalis, and Kalis is from Star Trek. Kalis is the name of the founding Klingon, right?
Okay.
That's
I'm not as Star Trek
Spectre
expert
Kalis,
by
you. Spectre Kalis, yes. Or it's all mixed together like that, right? Yeah. I can't. Yeah. It's messed up for me. Second winner. Spectre Kalis. Okay. Yeah, it's a mix. Second winner. Wow, another one we don't know. Moldy Derp. Oh my gosh, that's good to see.
Yeah.
Oh man, is Moldy Derp on? He's on too. He or she, I should say. Don't know. Okay. Moldy Derp, whisper me an email address, and I will get that right out to you as well. And grats. Hey, it's good to see some new blood win some of these instead of Casey.
Yeah.
Yes. That's good to see. So just note the giveaways. There'll be one non-STL winner for tomorrow night as well. It'll be a gift certificate. I think it'll be a $20 gift certificate to Reaper tomorrow night too. So we got 3 giveaways tomorrow night as well. Thank you, everyone. Now Stella did a real nice thing for me and made that ad, and Stella's playing in my game. Stella's going to be DMing at Virtual Greyhawk Con, so we're going to raid into Stella Luna. She's doing her Unbound, I think, tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, so let's everyone stick in, please, and let's sit around, sit by, and say hello to Stella. Thank you all, and have a great show, Mike. Great show, Anna, as usual. Wonderful, wonderful
Thank you,
time.
Jay. Yep.
Oh, my pleasure. And we'll see you all tomorrow night for a great adventure. Trust me, it'll be a fun one. So see you tomorrow night, and everyone have a good night. See you. All right, let me get in here and let me set this up. Everyone, give Stella a warm hello here. She's got 30 on. Let's double or triple that. How about that at least?
Yeah.
Sound good? Oh, my pleasure. Anytime. Okay, 45's good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you all tomorrow night. I got thunderstorms coming in here.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
It didn't go. The raid didn't